What's up, Gus?
What up?
Kev, what up?
Tip off.
We good.
We got Bulls basketball, baby.
Basketball.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and that's how we starting.
Okay.
It's just good to see John Wall back, to be honest with you.
It really is.
Because, I mean, he's been out almost 3 years, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's just a long time.
Lowry drawing a foul on Boogie right out of the gate.
Dude, look how slimmed up Boogie is. That look crazy.
Truly.
Man.
Travis,
what's up?
Shout out from the KY.
Jelly?
I certainly hope not. I hope the man
certainly hope so.
Does not exist in a vat of KY jelly.
I mean, you can think of worse ways of living, man.
It's true. Oh, nice pump, Lowry.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Lowry, take the shot. Nope, that's on you.
He airmailed that one.
That's on Lowry right there. He's got to take that shot. He stepped inside. They were going to let him shoot it. Take that shot.
How awesome is it to see Mo Cheeks on the Bulls bench, though? How awesome is that?
You ain't never lied. It just looked great, dog. Like, we got a real team out here. You know, we got a real coaching staff, a real front office.
Oh, John's gonna be real upset about the undershirt Zach LaVine tonight.
I'll tell you what I'm excited about. They're wearing white at home.
Hey! How about that?
My brain. This is awesome.
What?
Let's go.
Boogie launching threes. Jeremy, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you.
Jeremy, what's happening? Tyler, what's up, man? This is great. This is really great. I'm really happy.
I can't believe we're watching Bulls basketball right now.
Like, I'm really, really happy right now.
Hey, look who's on the court. Look who just made a shot.
Hey.
Otto Peter Porter? What's his name?
What's his name? I left my notes. I can't see his name, but left my notes somewhere. Oh, good defense. Good defense, Zach. Oh, terrible pass, Wendell.
All right.
Good defense, terrible decisiveness. Oh, I like it. You know, I like this. They look rusty.
Well, yeah. I like it. After 9 months, I would assume that they're going to look pretty rusty.
But this is what I wanted them to look like. I didn't want them to because honestly, if you remember last year in that preseason, they came out like gangbusters. Remember, they were on fire. They had like a fluid offense, you know, running 3-point drills. Like, it was awesome.
Right.
And then it was over when the season began.
Which is a good reminder that the preseason doesn't mean anything.
Not a thing. This is practice. Yeah, Lowry.
Oh, come on, Lowry.
Get tough on him, Lowry.
Come on.
Get tough on him, baby.
Kev said, does the floor look different, or is it because we haven't seen it in a while? I think it's the same.
It's the same. It's just got those stars kind of at, you know, midcourt, even though I believe those were there last year.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think not having people there is going to make it a little bit differently also, you know?
Yeah.
And not having the chairs on the center floor, you know, and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting when the loose ball, you know, goes out of bounds and stuff like that. And also now guys have more room to work with.
Right.
And we saw Chris Paul exploit that in the bubble. Ooh, Boogie.
Gracious.
Yeah, this is always my fear of Wendell Carter playing center because Boogie is a legit 7-foot guy.
Yeah, and come on.
Oh, terrible pass. And I don't care how good you are at defense, man. 7 foot trumps 6'9" every single day, especially if you're skilled.
Yeah, indeed.
Dirty.
Look at this hole the Bulls find themselves in. What's up, Lakina? What's up, Salvador?
Salvador. What's happening? Now, Billy, go ahead.
They're trying to get some pick and pop with Wendell going, which I don't mind. Use the preseason to let Wendell chuck some threes.
Yeah. Let him do all that. I want all the mistakes. Honestly, I want all the mistakes.
All the mistakes?
All of them, Matt. It's preseason. I want all the mistakes.
Should we call up Jim? Get him back in here?
What is wrong with you? It's not even 5 minutes in. What is up with you?
You said you want all the mistakes.
I said I want all the mistakes. See, I see already. See? Mm-hmm. That's all. It's just time. That's all. It's just time already. And you just needed a little bit. Go and get you some. You just needed a little bit.
Memory erased.
Just a little bit. That's too early, man.
All right.
Too early, man.
Also, as of right now, thanks to your boy C-Dub, we are now live on the BAWL on Bulls YouTube channel. Streaming live, baby. Subscribe to BAWL on Bulls on YouTube if you aren't already. Like and subscribe.
Now, here's the awesome thing about it, guys. You can watch it on YouTube and get all this awesomeness, that you're seeing right here on YouTube. But when you're on with us on the Hot Mic app, you get to talk to us directly on the Hot Mic app. You can ask us all the questions we have. And we got a new feature there, don't we, Matt?
New feature. If you make sure you have the most recent updated version of the Hot Mic app, the Hot Mic button right under where you see us on your screen, you can request to join our broadcast, and then boom, you will pop up in our show with us for a humble donation of just $10. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Good. And we're working men. Oh, we can use $10 here or there. Because, NBC ain't paying us this year.
Listen, we appreciate you guys tipping us for cups of coffee.
Oh, so nice. So nice.
So, yeah. So now when you tip us that cup of coffee, you get to come on here and talk to us. And you can do that, and that'll be a great time. And also, man, I don't think you saw it, but there is a David Nwaba sighting. David Nwaba is on the court, Matthew, for the Rockets. David Nwaba is on the court.
The one that got away.
Oh, there he is with the steal. The one and only. The greatest player in Bulls history since Jordan, David Nwaba. Oh, my God.
And just like that, Jeremy said, biggest disappointment, Wendell's hair. Yeah, we got to talk about that in a minute. We have Salvador waiting in the wings, wanting to join. Shall we invite Salvador to join us?
Salvador, come on in,
baby. Let's go.
Come on and hang out. Come on and hang out with us. Hang out with us.
Okay, I believe he will be joining us right here. Here he is.
Hey,
what's up?
Young Salvador.
Welcome to the Outsiders Party on Hot Mic, man. How you doing?
You is, man? You there? We see you. We see your forehead.
Okay, good. You guys?
Hey,
I hear you, man. We hear you. We hear you.
We
hear you. What's up, baby? Speak your piece. Say your thing. Talk your stuff. I like how we get to look right at his forehead. This is really awesome.
It's really
your forehead is amazing.
Your
forehead is amazing, Salvador. Let me tell you right now. I've seen a lot of foreheads in my day, sir. That one right there, pristine quality. Excellent job. Lakina said I almost didn't recognize him.
Oh, man. What's on your mind, man?
Like, I'm looking at your mind, but we can't tell what's on it.
Talkie.
Oi.
Yeah. Just happy that basketball's back.
Yes. We are happy that basketball is back.
Very happy to have the Bulls back. It's been forever. 9 months. 9 months. Yeah. Salvador, come on now.
Come on, man. It's been a long time. It's been way too long, Salvador, man. I don't know how we survived, but we did it. The NBA bubble was definitely awesome. Everybody thought I shouldn't say everybody, a lot of people thought it was going to be some problems, but it turned out to be the best thing among all the sports that was going on. It honestly was the best thing. So this season, just to have this back so soon and to get these guys back on the court, especially with the new front office and the new coach, and the new draft picks, we're just really excited, to see what this team can offer. And there he goes.
Thanks for joining us, Salvador.
Thanks for coming on, baby.
Also, Jeremy has given him a new nickname. He will henceforth be known as Salvadome.
Salvadome! Yes, sir.
Yes, oh, my goodness.
I don't want to be like Salvadome. You know what to do. Just come on through, click that button, man, drop that tip, and come on and hang out with us and ask us anything that you want. We can talk Bulls all night long, baby. And we got
all night.
And we got specialness coming on too later, man. We're gonna keep that a secret. We're going to keep that a secret.
Oh, the surprise special guest.
Yeah, we got something special for y'all, baby. Just because you hanging out with us, we got something real special for y'all. So you're gonna want to get your tips in and come on and talk to us when the special guest comes on. I'm telling you, you're gonna want to have that conversation, man. You know what I mean? So
you got to hang out with us this whole time because you don't know when Mr. Special Guest or Mrs. Special Guest, who knows, is going to show up.
I can confirm it is not C-Red Fred, Kevin. That would not allow that.
Kevin, look at me. Are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? Fuck that. What a ridiculous suggestion. We got a brand new bowl season. We here on our turf doing our content, and you think the first person we're going to invite to join us is C-Red? Really?
Listen, man, I love C-Red Fred, but I know who I'm rolling with. There's no way I'm going to put Matt in that situation. Even though I do got my grapes. And I'm ready to go and watch a battle, but I guarantee you, it is not C-Red Fred. D. Wilson said it's Tanaka. No, dude, Tanaka, honestly, it would take him too long to get on. I'll just have to tell him I'm hurt. Oh, look at Lowry. Oh, Lowry. Look at Lowry.
Look at him. I could confidently say I don't give a single rat's ass where Tanaka and his sweater vest are and what they're up to right now.
Honestly, I don't care what any of them are. They don't exist to me anymore.
Ooh, damn, that was a nice move.
Nice, man. That's the interesting thing about Houston, man. Even though, without Harden, they're still a good young team. And John Wall is an all-star point guard. Like, let's not get that twisted. He's just been injured.
Kobe. Yeah, I mean, if healthy, John Wall still has, I think, some miles left on those tires. It's just like the John Wall we know is like all NBA point guard is a guy we haven't seen in forever.
Yeah, agreed. We have no idea. Man, I'm wondering what's going through Billy Donovan's head right now. What's he saying? Is he saying like Otto Porter Jr. should never play? So is he saying Wendell Carter Jr. getting done up by 7-footers? So I don't know if he should be the guy to send it out. Sorry, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
I just want to know what's going through that mind.
Oh, there you go.
Go ahead, Kobe.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go, Lowry.
Okay.
Jeremy asking about our special guest. Is it Gar live from New Orleans? No, it is not.
I love the pool y'all think we have. Actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that awesome. I love it, man. No, would not allow that.
Uh-oh.
Nice pass. House Jr.
Get on the floor.
Hopefully he won't get in trouble again. Nice. Way to get on the ground.
Oh, my.
Oh,
come on, Lowry. You got to get that rebound.
Lowry, you cannot let Nawaba out-rebound you, Lowry. I'm sorry. Absolutely not.
That's embarrassing.
Not acceptable.
My goodness.
He had him.
You know what? If I
had him.
Never see a failed Lowry dunk attempt ever again, I'd be more than okay with that.
Yeah. Man, dude. Honestly, man, you know what? I don't want to send that judgment. I'm 5 minutes into the preseason.
Oh, my God. Dude, the bird's eye view of Wendell's new do looks so weird.
Yeah.
It's like, it grid. I don't know.
Here we go,
baby.
Here we go. Yeah, there he is. That's the one. Matt, I'm telling you, I just have a suspicion he's gonna be in that starting lineup, man. I don't know, bro. I just have a suspicion.
I mean,
that's just a suspicion.
Hey, what's going on,
what up,
Twan?
baby?
You think he's going to start over Wendell?
Here's my thing, Matt. If Wendell isn't giving it to you offensively, him and Daniel Gafford on the defensive end, I don't know if you really
they're
lose
not the
anything.
Same. They are not the same, Dave.
I didn't say they were the same. I said I don't know.
That's the
if
same thing as saying they're the same.
I don't think Wendell is superior. He's better.
Wait, superior and better are synonyms. What the fuck are you talking about?
Superior. Okay, let me describe it to you. Superior is like Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jordan is superior, right? Dwayne Wade is really good, right? He's him. They're not the same. Not the same players.
Why?
Both of them good. You're gonna lose something.
Why'd you have to use D-Wade as an example? Why?
Because I had to use a great two guard. Yeah. He's a great two guard. He's arguably top 3 two guard, but he's not Michael Jordan.
Oh my goodness.
I just think when I see that with Gafford and his block shots and him clogging up the lane, I like that. Because when I see Wendell, and of course, yes, he's good defensively and better defensively than him. I just don't find him supreme than Daniel Gafford. Like, oh man, dude, he's supreme to this dude. I don't know.
But
he has to do it on the offensive end. But it has to be on the offensive end. That's where the change has to be. You know what I mean? Like Wendell is better.
Evan said, "What has Wendell really done?" Look, I think you saw what Wendell has done when he left last season when he got hurt, and the Bulls' defense plummeted. Like they were running Boylan's stupid, gimmicky, like over-blitzing system, which was dumb in and of itself. And thank God we heard at training camp that they're working a lot more drop coverage, and they're not going to be trapping and blitzing like that this season. But in the defense they ran, when Wendell got hurt, that defense collapsed.
Ooh, got him.
Yeah, Gafford has more length, and he makes some incredible, like highlight reel blocks. Wendell covers so much ground. He can guard in a more versatile number of ways that I think that Gafford can. He's so smart. He knows how to cover basically like 3 spots on the floor at once. And that is basketball intelligence on the defensive end that you can't just compare to Gafford with like a highlight reel block. It's not the same thing.
No, nobody's saying it's the same. Here's the difference, though. When you put him up against DeMarcus Cousins, he's getting worked. So all that IQ goes out the window because he's 6'9". And you're gonna get worked. Period. And you're gonna get in foul trouble because you can't guard that.
Andrew Williams.
There he is. No, let him in. Don't you take him out. Let him in the game. What are you doing? Get him in the game. And here's also the problem, Matt. If he's excellent defensively, he makes Wendell a tad expendable. I'm telling you. On that defensive end, that IQ and everything you're talking about, he makes him a little expendable. Because if he's forcing people to the lane to take bad shots, Gafford can be there to throw them into the rafters. He makes his job easy. Satoransky off the bench. I love to see it. Oh!
Well, at least Zach caught up to commit a foul and prevent an easy basket, as opposed to just, when Zach's playing defense off the ball and somebody that he's guarding just does like a quick backdoor cut, he just like ignores it like 7 times out of 10. At least that time he caught up and committed a
foul. Let's see. Patrick, Pat, or Patty? It's Patrick.
I'm definitely getting used to just calling him Pat Will. Just shortening both his first name and his last name. Just Pat Will. I like it. Okay. Rolls right off the tongue.
Okay. Evan Davis says, I don't think Gafford has got enough minutes. I think there's a real chance Gafford could be a better plus-minus player.
I disagree.
No?
I disagree. I think people are so quick to give up on Wendell because he's had some injuries in his first 2 years and his offensive game hasn't blossomed yet. Wendell Carter Jr., if in the correct system and his game developed. Remember, this dude is still what? Wendell is 20 years old. 20.
Yes.
He is a all-defensive team perennial candidate if he reaches his defensive ceiling. Daniel Gafford is not that. Not at all.
He's right. He's also playing out of position. Yeah. And I've been saying that since last year. He's being 6'9" and playing center, you got to be Ben Wallace. Like you can't be that. You have to be an anomaly if you're going to be that short and playing center. I think him playing the small forward, with his versatility on the offensive end is a better fit for him, but I got Lauri Markkanen in there. Like, we're going to have to find a way to give him some minutes at the floor, I think.
Like I've heard more of that talk cropping up as we've been in training camp about maybe Donovan will find some ways to play Lowry at the 5 so that they can mix things in with like Pat Will and giving Wendell minutes at the 4. And I'm like, how many times do we need to shoot down this crazy, stupid idea? Lowry cannot. You talk about Wendell being undersized as a center. Yes, that's true. He's 6'9". He makes up for it somewhat with his wingspan. But Lowry at the 5, disaster. Which is why I think at some point, maybe a year from now, when we've reached the end of this 2021 season, which I think will largely be about the new owners or the new management and new coaching staff evaluating these young pieces of talent, Lowry, Wendell, not the front court of the future. One of them is going to get moved. And it's just a matter of AK and his crew figuring out who they want to keep.
Yeah, this is all and that's also why, as much as I'm excited about it, seeing how these guys can compete for like the 8th seed, it's also an evaluation year for a lot of these players, for Otto Porter, for Wendell, for Lowry, even for Kobe White, even for Zach LaVine, even for Daniel Gafford, even Chandler Hutchinson. Like a lot of these guys, there's still a lot of questions. Patrick Williams, because he's a rookie. You're evaluating a lot of players on this team because you're trying to figure out exactly where everybody fits. And exactly
Speaking of Pat Will, Evan said Williams looks huge out there. How is that kid only 19? Yeah, he is a man-child.
Find the ball. Find him. You should not be out that far with the
basketball. What is Gafford doing dribbling behind the three-point line?
Get out the way, Gafford. No, Gafford. Uh-oh. Wait, Gafford, that is never the decision.
We got Gafford putting the ball on the floor out by the corner? Like what? Oh,
preseason, baby.
We are getting doubled right now. 34-17. Yikes.
Go, Otto, go. Don't even pass it, Patrick. Just go.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
I like the toughness.
Brandon says, I actually like Hutch and Pat Will on the court together. P. Willie, excuse me. I mean, we've seen them on the court together for about 90 seconds of the first preseason game. So we'll see.
We'll see. Go out on a limb here and say,
Gustavo said, how many beers y'all had so far? I'm on. No,
I don't have any, baby.
What not even baby. Some gross non-alcoholic beers?
First of all, they're exquisite.
Never has that adjective been used to describe non-alcoholic beer.
I was really busy. I have it. It's in the garage though, and I didn't have time to run out and grab it. So it's here, but it's just cooling for next
Fair
game.
enough.
So I'll be ready.
And I'm on number 3. It's Friday at 7:30, and the Bulls are playing. What do you expect me to not have had my third beer already? And you know what?
Fair point.
Silver lining to us not being at NBC Studio right now, I'm just going to be sipping some beers all night.
There he is. And the other silver lining is we probably won't be having that 20-point alcohol anymore.
The 20-point loss bottle? Or the 20-point deficit bottle. I think as the season wore on, we changed it from 20-point loss bottle to 20-point deficit bottle because we just needed to get through. And my favorite part is that we hid this bottle of booze in just the bottom drawer of the desk in the green room where we would sit and watch the games. And like there were other random things in there, like pens, name tags, random equipment and accessories of a green room of a TV studio. And in that drawer was just our bottle of hooch that said Outsiders 20-point loss.
We went through 2 of them over 2 years. We went through 2 of them jokers. That was fun. That was fun stuff. I got a question for you. Did you leave anything at the studio?
Not to my knowledge, no. I don't think I left any hats, any earbuds, like a backpack or a coat, a scarf. I think I got everything out of there intact. What about you?
Okay.
You lost six pairs of
definitely left
earbuds
the
in there over the course of 2 years.
I can't argue that. He's got a point. I lost a lot of earbuds. I didn't find them all, but
there
I
was
found
one
some,
night
but I lost a
where we
lot.
were there like early before tip off, and we went through that sectional of Lazy Boys and dug around, and you pulled out like four pairs of your earbuds.
I did. There was another night that you weren't there that John found a pair of earbuds of mine, and they were wrapped around the coil on the inside of the couch. And he did some MacGyver stuff to get it out of there. I still don't know how he did it, but he got it out of there, man. So yeah, but I left a hat, Matt. I left a hat up there because it was my go-to hat just in case I wore a hat that they said was going to be messed up on the green screen, or in case I left a hat, or in case somebody needed a hat. I kept a hat there. I kept a Scully there, and I was like, yeah, I'll just leave it here. And so yeah,
I was going to say, just tell Bulldog to grab that for you. Scott said, "Don't lie, you drank while pre-gaming at NBC." No, never any pre-gaming drinks. No. Just at the end of the fourth quarter, while post-game was happening, we were waiting to go on, and we were miserable. Needed to take the edge off. Brandon said, "Sato to Otto." It's like we're watching Prime Wizards basketball.
And we're down by 15.
Evan Davis giving a shout out to Hutchison's hairline, which is just
the lining. Yeah, man. Now since Shaq Harris is gone, he's undoubted. Like it's not even a question. He's the undoubted leader of the hairline committee of the Chicago Bulls. He's the
apparently
one.
Sabine just showed up in our chat and just had some emojis of some hamburgers. I'm not sure what's going on there. Sabine will be joining us later on towards the fourth quarter of tonight's game. He is not the special guest. No. He will be John would not qualify as a special guest because he is the third of our trifecta.
Correct. Didn't Dave leave his glasses and hat there? I actually found the glasses. They were in my coat in a pocket that was, one of those secret pockets in your coat. I stuck them in there one day and I found them. So I found the glasses. I got my zennies. So my zennies are in full effect. But my hat is definitely there. That's your problem. Brandon said that is your problem. You needed to leave something there, like with an X that's not over you yet.
Just show up. Oh, hey guys. That's interesting. You guys aren't doing any pregame or postgame content for this Bulls game? I just came to get my hat, but now that I'm here.
Oh, is that a chair? Is that an empty seat? Guys.
Evan said if Chandler's shot was as good as his lining, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer. One, no. Because, no.
Yeah. No.
Two, also no.
Also no.
Tyler said Matt removes his hat and retries another beer. What does it mean to retry a beer?
I mean, that's a question for you. I have no idea.
I'm baffled. I don't understand what that means.
Pre-game draft lottery peck wasn't drinking. I don't believe you.
I don't think I ever claimed to not be drinking on lottery night.
No, I can tell you firsthand because I was there. We were not pre-gaming. That didn't go down. Now during the fourth quarter, that's a different story. But yeah, before the game, we were clear of mind. We knew we had to be focused about what we were doing. Now, what do you say? What a convenient place to have a green screen. Don't mind if I do. Retrieve, Matt. That's what he was saying. He wasn't saying retry.
Oh, retrieve another beer. Yes, I do that quite often. You are correct.
Yes. Oh, John Wall. Ooh.
While removing my hat. That would be nice. Every time I threw my hat out of anger while watching a Bulls game, if somebody just walked up and handed me a beer and also brought me back the hat that I threw, man, that would just be fantastic.
That'd be good living. That'd be real good living.
Here
right
we go.
there.
Pat Will out in transition. Pull up mid-range. Money! Let's go, Pat. That was real smooth.
Didn't he? Oh, goodness. That was super smooth right there. Oh. Okay.
And Hutch hands up saying, I didn't do anything. What foul?
What? I was talking about this. I was on the Bullish Hoops podcast. Shout out to the Bullish Hoop crew. And I was saying to them, they were asking what player was I not high on as far as going in. And Chandler Hutchison was the name I had because it was strictly because I have no idea what he can do. I don't know what he can do, man. I know he can run the floor. You know, I know he can do that. But I don't know if he can dribble well. I don't know if he can shoot well. I honestly, I have no clue. Ooh, Patrick Williams.
Oh, wait.
Oh, my God.
They call that offensive foul, but that was hella awesome.
Dude, that was awesome. How is that offensive? Wait, show me that again because I missed that. Hey, man. Hey, he got the play, Billy. I hope you see that already.
Did you see that stat, though? First half, 7 turnovers, and the Rockets don't have any?
You know, I'm telling you, man, all the mistakes.
Sato in transition. There you go.
Nice. 9-point game.
We might have some more forced turnovers if you know who was still here. He was a big fan of that.
Get on the terrace a bit. How's your father?
I got some stuff I got to do.
Great move by Satoransky, though, to keep moving after the pass at half court. He just honestly outran the defense on that one, man. He didn't stop moving. So,
D. Wilson said Pat Williams get that dribble pull up smoothly. That was absolutely smooth.
It was. It was super smooth.
Obviously, the most exciting thing about watching preseason and getting the season underway is seeing how Pat Will translates to the NBA level. Obviously already has the size of an NBA player, despite being just, a fresh 19 years old. And I'm sure, Dave, you also watched those like pickup games that he was playing that went onto YouTube earlier in the fall. And he was playing pickup with NBA players. And he was just owning, just like going to work, pouring at buckets. And you're like, okay, well, this is like a out of season, out of context pickup game that involves NBA players. What will he really look like 5-on-5 against NBA competition? And yes, it's still preseason, but it looks like a player who can come in and confidently contribute on both ends right out of the gate.
I mean, honestly, that's what you're kind of seeing, right? When he came in, I forgot he was on the court. He was just kind of blending in and finding his way. And it's not like he was forcing anything. But when he got the ball in a position where he felt comfortable, he said, "Oh, okay, I can shoot it from here." And in my head, he's 2 for 2 because I know that was an offensive foul, but that move and that shot he did, that's an NBA style play, honestly. So that's I'm excited.
Scott said YouTube Pat Williams greater than Mellow Hoodie. I believe you meant Hoodie Mellow, but yes, well said.
Yes, we understand. We understand, man. What is the car doing behind the basket? Well, nobody knows. Billy Donovan jokingly said maybe if somebody hits a half-court shot, we'll give it away to the player who does.
And there are rows of chairs and desks for where the media would normally be right there along the baseline. So they're like, well, this looks weird and empty. Let's put some cars here. Hey, maybe Blake Griffin will show up and dunk over one of them. Wait, is it a Kia? Oh, that's a shame. It's a Kia.
Oh, hey, don't be dissing Kias, baby. Don't be dissing Kias out here. We roll with the Kias, son.
I forgot for a second that Dave has a Kia.
And I love my Kia, son. I love that car. Well, you know what? I like it a lot. I loved my last car. It's got to earn the love, Matt. It's been 5 years. But I gotta earn the love. I loved my other car. I loved it. It's hard to get back into a relationship like
drive and kick. Oh,
Nice look.
son of a.
Oh, finish.
Evan said, hot take,
finish.
Pat Williams is starting by mid-season. That is a hot take.
I don't think that's that crazy.
A hot take. Oh, no.
Oh, good defense, Pat.
Nope,
oh, no.
He blew the whistle.
Oh, no.
He was just standing there clutching his head.
Oh, he's okay? Oh, no, dude, I
Yeah.
thought he messed up his leg for real. I thought
Truly.
something. Oh, man. Woo, okay.
Brandon said those cars are going to be given to a lucky fan in attendance. Oh, wait. Oh, I mean, he did hit the court hard on that.
Yeah, man. He did. Oh, yeah. His head, back of his head, hit his shin.
Hopefully he can.
Yeah, take the rest of the game off, bro. It's preseason, bro. I mean, it's preseason, dog. Like, seriously. You can chill. You can chill, my dude.
Oh, Tyler, appreciate the tip, my friends. He said he won't be able to stay on long.
Tyler.
So have a great night. You have a great night, Tyler. Happy Friday. Happy weekend.
Thank you, Tyler.
We are one day closer to
Thank
2020 being over, everybody. Oh,
yes.
Did you see that? Did you see that real short clip of School of Rock, Dave, in that commercial? I love it. Every time I see that commercial, I think of you because there's like a 1.5 second clip of Jack Black in School of Rock. Come on. No.
Every time I see School of Rock, you're the first person I think of. Every time I see it or any clip flies across, I'm like, me and Matt got to watch this movie.
It took all of my willpower to not just burst out cackling with laughter when you and I were on that Zoom meeting last week, and you brought up School of Rock. And I was like, this is very true. But I was like, I need to maintain some semblance of professionalism right now on this call.
Here's the problem, because if you went there, I was gonna go there with you. That's the problem. That's the problem, man. I wasn't gonna leave you hanging. I wasn't gonna leave you hanging out there, man. No, you went there. We were going together.
And it is true that movie is one of the first things we ever bonded over.
Yes. C-Dub says, I was a substitute teacher. I empathized. Love that movie.
Actually, it's Schneeble.
I love how he couldn't spell his name. He was just like, call him Mr. S. That's your boy, dog. That's your boy. He was like, yeah. Let's call me Mr. S. Oh, my God. That joke is hilarious.
Just a reminder, everybody, new feature on Hot Mic. If you want to come and hang out with us in the broadcast, show your face, say hi to the people, chat with us, just hit that Hot Mic button in the middle of your screen for a humble donation of a few dollars.
Yes, and come hang out with us, man, and be like Salvador. And show us your forehead. Salvador, baby. Salvador. But yes, hit that button in the middle of your screen and come on in and talk to us, man. Don't be shy. Come on in and talk to us. We'll talk about whatever. We can talk School of Rock.
Salvador, yes. You got a base.
You let that dome keep rocking. Dome. Play it up here a little light.
Pat Will, come on, Pat Will. Okay, I like that he's shooting it though.
That was tough. Yeah,
that he's shooting it.
Wow, man, John Wall cannot get around this dude. Look at this. John Wall cannot get around him. That's impressive. John Wall is super fair. Oh, nice move. Was that Eric Gordon? Oh, yeah. Excellent move. I wonder if we're going to see Lowry again.
I would say, give him another 3 or 4 minute run at the end of the first half.
You know what? That whole sequence was on Wendell, honestly. When Pat Williams gave him the ball and he came back around to him, he's supposed to hand that back off, and he didn't. And Patrick Williams, you could tell he was a little confused. So he just kept cutting to the lane. And when Saturansky came around, he was trying to kick it to him, but he had it so long that they knew what was coming. And they just took it from him. He's got to give that back up, man. Yeah, you can see the miscommunication on defense. These guys, yeah, they're still figuring it out, man. You see it. You see it. I like it. I like it, man, because I'm glad they ain't got this figured out.
Preseason is for.
This is what it's for, man. Seriously.
Ooh. Yeah, yeah. Pat Will bodied him pretty good on that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I'm okay with that, though. That young man is not afraid, clearly, to go body to body with some of these NBA vets.
Yes. And now, this is also wanted to see Pat Williams with Lowry. I just
said Lowry back in there. I figured they might give him another run. And so what we heard earlier today is that because Thad, with this weird, like, out-of-nowhere leg infection, is inactive tonight, that Otto was going to start. Billy Donovan said Otto probably wouldn't play in the second half, and that his rotation would expand in the second half, being a preseason game. So, you know, by the time we're watching the fourth quarter, we might see, like, Cornette and Archie out there. But as far as the other primary starting five, I anticipated that they would at least get in a normal rotation in the first half and then maybe the first part of a rotation in the second half. Maybe not. Maybe, you know, Kobe, Zach, Otto, Wendell, and Lowry are all just on the shelf in the second half. But, yeah, I mean, I would have been surprised if Donovan just, like, pulled them each after one rotation.
Yeah, you're going to see a bunch of different lineups. It's going to get weird, man. You got to figure things out.
This is a condensed preseason. You know, you only got 4 preseason games before you start playing games that count towards the actual season and your win-loss record. So coaches have a lot less time to toy with stuff and get stuff figured out, which I would assume means you're probably going to play your starters a little bit more in these preseason games.
Yeah, I agree. Jeremy said, did y'all get my don't know? No, we didn't. He said, I don't want to get on camera, though. You don't have to. You can turn your camera off. You can still
Jeremy, a little camera.
You don't have to be
okay. Hold on. For the record, everyone listening, I went on Jeremy's show just a few days ago. Shout out to Anything But. Those guys have a great idea for a podcast where they brought me on and they asked me questions about everything and anything but the Chicago Bulls. So, like, our conversation covered a lot of ground and none of it was about the Bulls. I had a great time with them. And Jeremy's a handsome cat. I don't know why he doesn't want to show his face on camera right now.
He's calling you out, Jay.
More handsome than this garbage going on over here.
That's because this is preseason pay. Dude, that's the difference.
Honestly, I've thought about shaving off this goatee before their season opener on the 23rd. I might do it.
I think you should, honestly. Because it looks like you're not trying to tame that at all. You just let that just grow.
It's just hanging out.
Yeah, that's what it looks like it's doing. Like, you know, it's like whatever. You have a very Jay Cutler's.
We're in like quarantine. It's not like I'm like, you know, going out on a date with some nice lady being like, hey, look how well groomed my mustache is. No. The only people who have to look at this, other than you poor people, are my roommates.
Shout out to Matt's roommates. Oh, no. Oh, man. I didn't like that pass.
All right, Kobe. Pull back
I don't like
out.
the spacing. Get away. There you go. Good decision, Kobe.
I mean,
he got bailed out. I like the decision.
Gustavo said Peck shaving better than his head. Is that a greater sign? Is that a wishbone? What is that? No, I will not be shaving my head, if that's your question. Hey, Jeremy, appreciate it, man.
Jeremy. Thanks for the tip, Jeremy. Thank you, sir. And remember, guys, you can also tip if you don't want to come on and talk to us. But why wouldn't you want to come on and bask in all this greatness? Come on in and talk to us, baby. Come on, talk to me.
Wendell,
I really want to meet you.
Yikes. As he brings a bad 3 at the end of the shot clock. That was not great.
Not great. Not great, Bob. Oh, nice. I'm glad they got to force that into it. So now, right now, Matt just went away. Where you go, Matt?
I'm gone. Can you hear me?
I see you. I mean, I hear you, but I can't really see you because your screen is funky right now. And his screen is out. All right. Matt is going to return. So I'm going to roll with y'all until he fixes that. We're going to see that. Wendell Carter Jr.'s decision-making annoys me. I agree. I completely agree. I'm not liking his decision-making on the floor, especially on the offensive end. I'm not feeling it at all. Not feeling it. And right now, since Matt's gone, it's room, guys. It's room to come on in and talk to me. It's room to come on in and share a screen with me, baby. Hit that hot mic button in the middle of your screen. Come on in, hang out with me, man. I'm out over here all by myself. Don't want to be all by myself. Yes. Smooth vocal tones is what that is right there. Wendell getting a little chucky from 3, yeah. He also put on 10 pounds in the off season, man. And I don't know. I don't like bulky Wendell, you know. But honestly, guys, I think he's playing out of position. I don't think he's a center. I think he is a forward who is being forced to play center. And if that's the case, I'd rather go with a traditional center. Not saying that this dude can't play defense because he can. We obviously see that. But going up against bigger centers in the league, you know, and the way he gets into foul trouble, I just, you know, I want his game to thrive a little bit more. Oh my goodness, what a move. Woo. Someone on Twitter said play Felicio. Tell them to go away. Terrible pass, Kobe White. Terrible pass. Nawaba. Oh, the tip in. Very nice move by John Wall. Here's Kobe. Nice. Good shot, man. Good shot by Kobe. Good shot by Kobe White right there. Way to bring that in, man. Kobe White, honestly, I would say the two players having, you know, the toughest time right now on the court are Kobe White and Wendell Carter Jr. You see that pump fake? See, that's the stuff I'm talking about, man. That's the stuff I'm talking about. He just gave him a simple eyebrow fake, and Wendell was like, oh, but Wendell can't, you know, he's out of position, man. He's out of position. I'm telling you, he's out of position. He's out of position, y'all. We got to give him a little more. We got to get him a little more. Because I think he got skills. And of course, you know, he can play ball. I'm telling you, man, I think my man is out of position, dog. He's out of position. I would love to see the lineup of Gafford and Patrick Williams and Larry Markkinen. I just would like to see that front court just to see what it looks like. You know, I hope we get to see that because I really want to see that front court. Hey, there's Matt Peck. There's Peck's face. He's still confused. I don't think he hears me yet. I don't think he hears what is going on. Jeremy says defensive rotation, defense struggling. Yeah, the rotations are poor and the communication is poor. You know, but honestly, why I'm not tripping on it is because it's preseason and I want them to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like I want these guys to figure this stuff out. So I'm okay with that. That's all right. But I want them to figure this stuff out. And this is what preseason is for. It's figuring things out. So, yeah. But but little things, man. It's just little things that, you know, you're looking at. You want to see who's put in work, you know, in the 9-month layoff, who's put in work on their game. You know, who's got a little more stank on their game. That's what you're trying to find out. Derek says, gonna be some growing pains. I'll take turnovers and missed looks over stagnant offense and the lack of communication. It's gonna take time. I agree. That's a great point, man. But that guy's in he's been working out. He's been getting his together. Zach LaVine doing just what Zach LaVine do. Put the ball into the bucket. Who wants to join him on this Bulls team? Oh, that's good defense actually by Lowry. That's good defense by Lowry right there. Good defense. Solid point. Book Jones, thanks for the tip, my friend. Larry says hot mic preseason.
Can you hear me? Hey.
That's right, Larry. Yeah, I hear you. I can't see you, but I hear you.
Hey.
There you are. Now I see you. Hey, Larry
And
said
it
it's
is.
Hot Mic preseason also.
We're juggling a bunch of new features.
Yes,
I
it
got a
is.
new home studio set up that I'm working with. Also, the only reason
man.
that I hiccuped just now, Big Dave, is that you said that you couldn't
Yeah,
see
baby.
me, but apparently I was fine. C-Dub said that he could still see me on the YouTube stream, so I don't know why I just cut out for you. But then I exited, and when I re-entered, everything went to shit. But now we're back.
Well, I'm glad you're back, sir. That's another 3. What's that, like his 4th 3? Look at John Wall acting a fool.
Ooh, my goodness.
Woo! Gerald Green, baby. Do you think this, watching how Houston plays, will affect what Houston wants in return for James
you mean
Harden?
like as far as like the kind of players and pieces that they might request back? I mean,
yeah, and as much as they want
not
back.
necessarily. I think, I mean, if I were the Rockets,
okay,
and Harden's just going to force himself out of there by being a little, I'm going to look at the amount of first-round picks that Milwaukee gave to New Orleans for Jrue Holiday. And again, no disrespect to Jrue Holiday. Dude is a stud. He's not a perennial MVP candidate. If I'm the Rockets, I'm calling people and saying, you want James Harden? Yeah. Brooklyn, Miami, Philly, whoever. You want James Harden? I will take 6 first-round draft picks, please. And, they're going to throw in a player or two because they'll have to. But to me, if I'm Houston, it's all about future draft capital. Because no disrespect to John Wall, but if you give in to Harden's demand of a trade right now, you're basically starting over. And all of the future draft capital that Houston mortgaged to try to win a chip with Harden and all of the trades that they made, like their cupboard isn't just bare. Their cupboard has a bunch of IOUs to other people in it. So like you gotta do something to get back on the right track to start over.
Yeah, agreed. Wendell Carter Jr. got better shot opportunities on last year's offense. Would love to hear what Billy Donovan has to say in the locker room at the half. I don't think he's going to say too much, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you say? What can you say?
Nice take, all right, guys. Nice take, Kobe.
Oh, nice. Do better.
D. Wilson said Wendell popping on a lot of PNR handoffs and yet is 0 for 5. I don't care that Wendell is 0 for 5 in a preseason game. You know what I like? That Wendell has chucked up 5 shots on pick and pops. We talk about wanting to see Wendell expand his offensive game. What better time than now to go try?
It's preseason, people. He's right about that.
To me, that is the biggest thing about watching this game. I know we're all excited. It's the first time we've watched the Bulls play since March 10th. Everyone is going to overreact to everything about this game, and it's going to be stupid.
Oh, well, I tell you what, though, who looks like their normal selves is Zach LaVine.
Looks like Zach LaVine.
He just looks like Zach LaVine. Like he's out there scoring. He's out there shooting those threes, and he's playing within the offense. And that's always, I thought, Matt, the bad rap. And I know you feel the same way. I always thought that was the bad rap on him, that he was a selfish kind of basketball player, that he was a guy who would just chuck it up just to be chucking it up. Like that was never what he liked to do. That was never his thing. He always played within the flow of the offense, but he was doing that because somebody had to take over. Somebody had to score.
See, we take voicemails on our Locked On Bulls podcast, me and Jordan. Listeners who want to give their opinions. And we had somebody on the Zach LaVine empty calorie scorer train calling in the other day, and I tore him a new one. I was like, first of all, I hate the phrase empty calorie scorer. I think it's so stupid. It's like, okay, it's not empty calories because they're calories that are giving your team points, and he's filling out a box score. And like, yeah, the Bulls went 22 and 45 or whatever last season, 22 and 43. The Bulls go 0-65 without Zach LaVine last season. Like, simple as that. The empty calorie scorer thing with Zach is so misguided and so unfair. Just because you are the most talented player on a bad team does not mean that you don't bring anything to that team. It's complete horseshit.
It's completely true. I mean, everything you just said is completely accurate. It's funny how people call his empty calories, but you don't say that about Trae Young, who's on a worse team last year.
Do people say that about Trae Young? The other example I used was Devin Booker. Do people call Devin Booker an empty calories player?
Yeah.
Because he's an incredible scorer who plays on a dog shit team over the last several years? No.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree.
Lakina apparently has not heard the empty calorie scorer phrase before. She said that's a new one. Consider yourself lucky. Because I hear it all the time about Zach, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah, for real. He said, I tore him a new one. Nice block, Lowry. How many blocks Lowry got?
Meanwhile, Evan said, I don't like how they're running the offense through Wendell. He's made a bad decision every time. Learn.
I will agree with that, honestly. I wouldn't say every time, but he hasn't made great decisions on offense so far.
Marlon said, I'd take a 10-0 empty calorie run right now. Oh, come on.
Look at him. That's nice move, though, Zach.
Derek said, unfortunately, Zach won't shed that title until we win. Ignorance is bliss. Yeah, I mean, winning's everything, obviously.
True. Absolutely true. That is a fact. That winning is important, and that's the only thing that kept him from being an all-star.
Kev said, Bulls fan, you have to remember we don't have the same coaching idiots from last year. I think this coaching staff is competent enough to make adjustments. Relax.
Oh, wow. What a shot by Kobe White. My goodness. Yeah, that was a tough shot.
Woo!
And that's halftime.
It did.
Woo! That just flew by.
It truly did.
Guys, you're going to want to stick around for this third quarter. We got something for you. Yeah, get your tips ready because you're going to want to come on and talk.
All right, everybody. Get yourself a bathroom break. Get yourself a refill. Hit the fridge. Grab yourself a snack. We will come back on Hot Mic, Matt, Big Dave, and a surprise special guest joining us for the third quarter. Stick around, y'all. It's not Fred.
It's not Fred.
Way better than Fred.
It's not Fred.
What's going on, everybody? Second half almost underway. I like how people are still guessing who our guest of honor is going to be for the third quarter. Marlon, it's not Sabine. Sabine's joining us for the fourth quarter and post game. Jacob guesses Kendall Gill. I would love it.
Yeah,
we missed our boy Kendall. Maybe it's Kendall Gill.
Maybe it's Kendall Gill.
My bro said MJ, obviously.
I mean, obviously, put in that call. All we did was make it a challenge for him that he wouldn't come on here, and he took that personally. And he said, I'm coming on. Alex D said, Benny the Bull. I like that. Derek said, it's golf. I like these guesses, man. I'm feeling this. I like the Benny the Bull one. I like Benny the Bull guess. That's a good guess.
Oh my gosh. That would be funny though, if it's just Benny who shows up and is mute Benny not saying anything.
Yes. All right. Every restaurant. Woo! It's Christmas time on the way.
The snow's coming down.
Woo!
I'm watching it fall.
Oh, silky.
Yeah.
Silky smooth.
Stacy ain't the only one with pipes around here.
You hear what I'm saying? The dulcet tones of Matthew Peck. So how much Pat Williams do you think we're going to see? Because Billy Donovan was on record saying we're not going to see a lot of Otto Porter Jr. at the second half, like you already stated. Look at those leading scorers. Our rotation is shifting.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Get Stacy King. Yeah, we got Stacy live for the game, Cam. That's how it works.
Yeah.
We get them live.
Stacy's going to take a pause from calling the game to join us on Hot Mic.
My boys.
Dave, when do you start listening to Christmas music?
Already.
No, I know, but like on average, when seasonally, do you start listening to Christmas music before Thanksgiving?
No, I'll tell you like this. I can listen to This Christmas by Donny Hathaway year round. But Christmas music, it would honestly, it's Christmas. I wait till Christmas. Hey!
Who's that?
There he is.
Who's that?
There he is, people. We told y'all special guest was coming. We told y'all special guest was on the way. And here he is, 4-time champ, Will Perdue.
I like being called a special guest. How about that?
We just telling the truth, Will. We like truth around here.
Guest of honor. Will, how you doing, man?
Oh, I was so excited for basketball to get started, and then I was like, it was like a bad dream.
Hey, it's only preseason, man. It's only preseason.
I know, but listen. I'm just like you guys. I'm a fan. I'm fortunate enough to be a former player. proud to be a part of the organization, but I was hoping that we would get off to just a little better of a start. But at the end of the day, I just think that it just showed that we still have work to do. And that's just something that this isn't going to happen overnight. There's been so much positive press. There's been so much momentum, so much excitement pointed in the right direction. And I mean, part of me bought in, and I expected to sit here and watch the Bulls be up 15 at the end of the first quarter, but I just realized that, it's not going to happen. That's the hard part. You tell yourself you have to be patient, but actually doing that is difficult.
Yeah, very true. I actually will. I enjoy seeing all the mistakes early on in the first half because for me, it just lets me know they're putting in something new and they're figuring things out. And it just reminded me of the preseason last year because I remember they kind of came out like gangbusters last year,
right?
With that 3-point shooting and how good they looked. And the optimism was extra high for everyone. And then when the season started, they were like, oh, yeah, we are who we are. So I like the fact that it just looks like they're figuring things out and just getting acclimated to a new system.
We are who we thought we were.
Yes.
So, no, you can tell your people I did not steal a stage, Mike. This is all part of the setup that I normally use for Sirius XM NBA radio. Here, hold on a second.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, you got to get the hood up.
And please don't, people, y'all can come on and jump in and have this conversation with us.
Is this better for Hot Mike?
You look like you were about to battle Eminem, Will.
Spaghetti.
I can honestly say I've driven down 8 Mile.
Hey.
Lowry, aggressive take to start the second half. Oh, and we're calling a push-off?
Oh, we calling a charge.
Come on.
Still getting Hey, 2 things listen, let me go back to my notes.
Sure.
Rim protection and help defense. Still need to work on that. Anytime that Houston would pull Daniel Gafford or Wendell Carter out on the perimeter, there was no rotation for help.
Correct.
And shot selection. And then I kind of chuckled. I said, hey, Wendell's out to prove that he can shoot the 3, but unfortunately he went 0 for 5 in the first half.
we were talking about that. I don't know about you. I don't mind. It's a preseason game. If we want to see Wendell expand his offensive game and expand his range, like, dude, chuck 5 threes in the first half of a preseason game. I don't care. Go for it.
But listen, I'll go back to an experience that I had when I got traded to San Antonio, right? And before the preseason even started, Pop sat me down and he goes, hey, we traded for you for a reason. We know you can do, but we're going to give you the preseason, which, unfortunately for these guys is not 4 weeks like I had, but he says, hey, you got 4 weeks and 8 games to prove to us what you can do. As far as we're concerned, you got a blank slate. And we'll make a decision off those 8 games and those 4 weeks because you're going to get a lot of playing time. I don't need to play David a lot. I don't need to play Sean Elliott a lot. But you're going to get a lot of playing time to acclimate yourself with these guys and get ready for the season. And that's kind of, I think, what we're seeing here is you guys were talking about. I'm okay with the mistakes they're making because, honestly, I think it's also a reality check for these guys to be like, hey, guys, we still have a long way to go. We got a lot of work to do. We can read the press clippings all we want. It's kind of interesting. I was talking to Darnell Mayberry with The Athletic, and he was talking about as the week went on and he kept pumping out articles, each article was getting a little less attention. And he was like, wait a minute, did the newness kind of wear off? The excitement already wear off already? I said, no, I don't think so. I just think that, there's still a lot going on in Chicago. Everybody wants to boo-hoo on the Bears. Well-deserving, but, let's continue to – and, again, much like the season, we're playing 4 preseason games for a reason. They had a choice to play 3 or 4. They choose 4, which I think was smart.
Yeah. So
let's see where they are tonight, and then let's see where they are Sunday, then a couple days for practice, and then 2 more games, and then what? You got like 4 or 5 days between until the 22nd, and then that's where they have to figure out real quick, because like we talked about last year, they had a stretch of the season that they were supposed to make hay, and they struggled. And that pretty much set them up for failure the rest of the season. We're not going to judge them by the schedule, but if they're still trying to figure things out to this extent that we see tonight, they're going to be looking at, unfortunately, a bad record, and I unfortunately would feel bad because I think some people would lose interest early, and that would be unfortunate.
Got that right.
Yeah, I think that's what the fan base had to endure last season when we got out to that putrid start. And, obviously Otto went down early and then more injuries followed from there. But the season was buried. It felt like the season was over in mid-November, and we just had to, play out the rest of the notes. In a way, it was almost merciful that the league shut down, obviously for a horrible reason, we're all still trying to deal with this pandemic. But when the league shut down and I was like, wait, I don't have to watch, because if you guys remember, the final stretch of the Bulls schedule last season was brutal.
Ooh.
Between the road trip and the level of competition, we stopped at 22-43. We may have finished out the season and still ended up with 22 wins. It was gonna get worse.
Yeah,
much worse. It was, and we were running on fumes, just like I'm sure the Bulls were.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is another thing we're learning here. John Wall still got that explosive first step. I think
it.
Yeah,
I think Kobe will second that.
Yes,
and
sir.
for what Boogie's making this year, he's a steal.
Yeah.
Oh
agreed.
yeah.
But he had to prove it too, though, Will, right? They couldn't just give him that big contract.
Absolutely, especially after that air ball on the free throw.
Right.
We got a comment from Evan who said, I saw Will Perdue 4 years ago on the Brown line getting off at Merchandise Mart during rush hour. A true man of the people. So there you go, Will.
So you know what's at the merchandise, right? Mart, right?
Our studio.
Your rep.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I'd roll through there because back then 4 years ago I was staying at the JW all the time when I was in town working. So I'd jump on the train, get off at Merchandise Mart as I was cutting through the food court there. What was that? I used to stop at, what was that they used to have, the protein bar or whatever?
Oh, okay.
Or the Potbelly to get your Uptown salad.
That is right.
Which sometimes yours truly would fetch for you when you were coming back from the UC.
Yeah, but let's also be honest. I would say, hey, get whatever you want, but more times than not, you would not take me up on the offer.
It's true. He wouldn't.
He wanted to save himself for the vending machine.
Yes, because I'm an adult, Will. And sometimes being an adult means picking your dinner from a vending machine in your office's break room.
He wanted to be a man of the people, Will. He was like, if my people got to eat out the vending machine, I'm eating out the vending machine.
But the best part is that we're just creatures of habit, right? And sometimes for whatever reason, if we weren't doing a halftime show or because there was a conflict and we taped the halftime show, I would just laugh because as soon as half was over, it was like you guys didn't even look up. You just all rose at the same time, and the three of you in a congregation would just work your way back to the vending machines to get your snacks. And I'm like, I'm not even sure these guys are even watching where they're going. It's just like they were like what do they call those cars with no driver?
Oh, like those self-driving cars. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys just go. It was almost, and the best thing was,
or like a trolley on a track. We just beeline. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't even think they're watching where they're going. And then they're just that. And then you'd get to the vending machine, and then you guys would joke around and like, what am I going to get?
And Will, the decision to go was usually one of us saying, do you want anything? And we usually be like, no, we don't want anything, but we'll go with you. We'll go though.
I mean, that walk from the green room to the break room and back at halftime was my daily exercise.
Yes, yes.
Just
that's not a joke. That's the truth.
I should have gotten, each of those tiny little pink 2-pound weights that middle-aged women take on their walks through the neighborhood.
Hey, do that in a fanny pack, you'd be all set.
You'd be ready to go. Did I just see
remember,
a Jeremy Grant sighting?
Yeah. I do remember last year one time we kind of went through that little streak where we won a few games, and I would I think I put out on Twitter or Instagram or something, I went, healthy breakfast, workout, protein shake, and your only comment was, what's that?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds correct.
Now, I do like the fact that he started Pat Williams.
Yeah.
So we call him Pat? We call him Patrick? What are we going to start? What are we going to call him?
People, I say Patrick. Some people say P. Willie.
Yeah.
I like Pat Will. I like Pat Will. Just shorten the first name and the last name, put them together. Seems simple enough.
But I like the fact that he started him in the second half with the starting unit.
Yeah.
Is that a Luke Cornett sighting?
Oh, preseason. We got to see Felicio.
In a Gar voice, Jaron Grant, who we're high on. Will, what do you think about our old pal Gar getting a job with the Pelicans as a scout?
Well, I will admit that I think Gar can identify talent. You're never going to bat 1,000 when it comes to scouting, right?
Right.
But they did identify a lot of talent.
Yeah, true.
Now, here's the biggest problem that I came across. You know, I'm very fortunate that a lot of guys I played with or a lot of guys that I dealt with when I played are now general managers. They're in the front office. So I had a lot of resources to call and talk to people. And they always said that probably the biggest problem with the Bulls is they just thought too highly of their talent. And if teams actually called to acquire, the selling price was too high. And then so teams would go elsewhere. And that was probably their biggest downfall. And, you know, unfortunately, we see one right now and this is what I wanted to ask you guys. Mm-hmm. You know, take away the contract for Felicio, and he could probably be on someone else's bench, making whatever veteran minimum is, right?
Yeah, correct.
But Felicio?
Yeah. He's 7 feet tall and he don't cause no problems. Yes, he could be on the bench.
No, I am with Sabine in the opinion that like Felicio is not finding his way onto another NBA team when this contract is over.
I think you'd be surprised, but let's just remove the 4 years, $32 million.
Okay,
that was just a death sentence for him.
Yes, correct.
And that was unfortunate. I mean, look at like you just said. Grant's still in the league. He's on the team.
Yeah.
What did we see when he was with the Bulls that thought us that he would be with another team somewhere, especially after the Knicks let him go?
But it's not just that. It's the Paul Zipser who we're high on. It's the McDermott trade. And I think the other thing that made Bulls fans just so sick of Gar. And you're completely right, Will, and I agree. And I was saying the same thing on my Locked On Bulls podcast earlier today when we were talking about Gar getting a new job. The scouting talent is clearly there. The scouting vision is there. And for as much as the fan base wants to hate on Gar, he and John had more hits than misses in the draft over their years together. You cannot deny that. But the thing that I think really started to get under the skin of Bulls fans were some of those stories we would hear about Gar just being someone so concerned with consolidating power, ensuring that he had all of his bases covered, planting moles on the Bulls coaching staff to report back to him about what players were saying about him, what players were saying about the front office, what players were saying about whatever. And the fact that like he immediately became a easy scapegoat for a fan base because we all were told by sources we trusted that he was kind of an untrustworthy snake. What do you think about that?
I heard the same things. I heard the same stories. I mean, when you talk to Thibodeau, he got to a point where I think he was constantly looking over his shoulder because he wasn't sure who was in his camp and who was in their camp. When I say there, I mean Pax and Gar. And I just don't think that somebody's sitting around making up these stories, especially to the great lengths of some of these stories. They sounded like myths. And you're like, somebody's really spending a lot of energy and time to make up this great story instead of just, and one of the things I always talk about is, hey, stop trying to control the narrative and let the narrative kind of control itself. Don't worry about the narrative. You just worry about the product and let the narrative control itself. And then that's how it all works. Here, let me see if I can get my assistant here.
You got an assistant?
Yeah, I got an assistant.
Big time stuff. That's weird. Why am I shocked? That's four-time champ.
Right? I was going to say.
Will Perdue, 8 Mile driver. Will Perdue.
Of course he has an assistant. Remember, like one of the first days on the job on Outsiders when you and Kendall Gill asked us to wash your cars?
Yeah.
Speaking of the mic.
No, I remember.
Oh, what a gorgeous assistant
Yes,
you have.
what you don't know is that dog costs more than our salaries combined.
But technically, it's not my dog, so.
Woo, dude,
Yeah.
Williams again. Listen,
Dude,
That would be my son's dog.
wow.
what do you think
But hey,
about
let me get back to this game for a minute.
Yeah.
I will say that I've liked Lowry's aggressiveness. I mean, the Bulls shot selection as a whole has been questionable, but I like. You heard Stacey talk about the drag step. You heard Stacey talk about putting it on the deck, looking to attack the rim. That's what I liked about him. That last three right there, that was off the move. That was off the catch and shoot. You know, he was moving without the basketball. So,
Right.
Listen, there's plenty of things, positives that we can focus on. Unfortunately, we look at the score and we're like, man, they're down 26. Say what?
Although I think it is crazy that Houston has been absolutely on fire in this game. Like they're
Where did they
knocking
start out
down,
7 of 17 from
Yeah,
three?
they're knocking down everything.
And now Laurie's knocked down two straight threes. So that's the thing. We know what he can do. We wanted Lowry from 18, not the Lowry from 19.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and only time will tell. You know, it's just I think we'll agree that listen, the rotation is already set. Kobe, Zach, Otto, Lowry, and Wendell Carter Jr. Then you got Sato. I was surprised to see Hutch out there. You know, he had Hutch playing the 2 in that second unit with Patrick Williams playing the 3. And then he had the only starter. He had Wendell in there and then Gafford. You know, listen, Gafford's going to continually be a guy that's got to be on the move. We saw him a couple times, whether it was an offensive rebound, whether it was a pass. He still struggles with his back to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and instead of that initial impulse, he makes too many moves and then gets himself caught. And that's just inexperience. And I think, unfortunately, for this roster as a whole, there's a lot of that inexperience, guys that need playing time, guys that need, you know, to get out on the floor. And the question is that, you know, Billy's talked about a 9-man rotation, a 10-man rotation, which I think you're going to need because of the number of back-to-backs, the travel, you know, and plus, you know, a condensed. They're like, well, it's 10 less games, but there's also a lot fewer days to play those 72 games.
Yeah.
And also, people in the chat, if you have questions for Will Perdue, please put them in there. If you guys want to come on and talk to Will Perdue and put your face on camera, do that also. It's open
Throw 'em
to
out
you,
there, baby.
Throw them out there.
Jeremy said Pat is going to need more ticks sooner rather than later.
Dude, did you just see the floater that he just did again?
I mean,
oh my goodness,
he looks really strong. Will, do you see a realistic scenario where Pat Will is in this starting lineup before the season is over?
Not as long as Otto is healthy, no. Because one thing you saw about Otto in that first half was the mid-range game, the 3. And, you know, quite honestly, Patrick Williams struggled a little bit on defense because, as you heard Adam talk about, it's just the speed is so much different.
Yeah.
You know, and he didn't have the luxury of going out to L.A. and playing in the summer league for 2 weeks. And, you know, these guys haven't been together because of COVID, practicing, playing 5-on-5, you know, for 3 weeks leading up to training camp. So, you know, I think for a long time, I don't want to say a long time, but I think for a while there, you're going to seem like he's going to be very inconsistent. There's going to be times where he looks really good and times where he just looks bad and a step slow.
So a rookie, you say?
A young rookie at that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm liking what
I suppose the other option is, you know, like obviously we hope Otto stays healthy, but whether it's Otto or Thad, guys who are playing ahead of Pat Will in the rotation at the 3 and the 4, both of whom could be hypothetical trade pieces when you're leading up to the deadline if AK decides he wants to make some moves.
Yeah, I feel, listen, because of what the Bulls are trying to accomplish this season, and let's be honest here, this is an evaluation year. Mm-hmm. Yes, they're trying to win games every single night. But what you want to see is baby steps and improvement, baby steps. A lot is going on with rotations, personnel, coaching, the offense, the defense. A lot is happening, a lot of moving parts. It's going to take a while. But I think that Otto is a very valuable trading chip because of his expiring contract. Plus, he still has a skill set that a contending team could use. Period. Knowing that they could just
Damn, Gafford. Continue.
Knowing that they could just rent him, right? And then Bulls could get rid. And I'd be personally, I would feel very comfortable with Patrick Williams then sliding into the starting lineup later in the season. If Otto's still there, I don't think it happens. But if something happens to that nature, or Otto gets hurt, I have no problem with Patrick Williams as a young rookie being in the starting lineup.
Will, people in the chat are asking, what are your realistic expectations for this season for this team?
Derek says, do you think they can get into the play-in tourney? You know, so like the new 7 through 10 seed thing that they're doing this year.
I mean, they could. I'm not expecting it. You know, what does Vegas say? 29.5?
I think the last time I checked, yeah.
Yeah, so I honestly feel like mid-30s as far as number of wins, I think would be I don't want to say it's a good season, but would be successful.
Oh, I would look at mid-30 wins and say that's a big step.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hey, there he is.
Oh, look who's here.
He said, you got Will Perdue on? You can't have Will on, not have Sabine on. I'm coming on here.
Is that Thrill Perdue?
Real.
Yeah, baby. Hey, did you get those honeydews done?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I mean, you nailed it right there. Guys, the Bulls are back.
Yes.
The Bulls are back. Welcome in, John. How you doing,
Thanks
bud?
for having me. Will, I miss you. It's nice to be down 22. It feels like home. It feels like home being down 22 at home. I don't care if it's preseason. Bulls are back, baby.
All we missed is our whiskey.
When I was going to say, when the Bulls got down by 20 early in this game, Dave and I were reminiscing about our Bulls down by 20 bottle of whiskey that we kept in the green room.
Can you believe that the first preseason game it's already broken?
Yeah, but here's the question though: how many times did you guys actually refill that whiskey bottle?
Once.
I think it was twice. I do think it was twice.
Oh, twice? I thought
I bought one and I bought one, right?
Yeah.
And like
3 times
Dave
the lady.
Dave was the only professional, and he'd be like, "No, we're at work."
No, I did it once with y'all before we went on Outsiders, and that whole show, I was just like, "Oh my god, I don't want to be here. This is horrible." Like this, and I said, "Never again." I'm not prepared enough to drink before a show. I have to do it after.
Hey, here's a good one. Did you see this, Gustavo? Sabine, you on your beanbag?
Oh, they should. That should be the John Sabine Memorial beanbag in the green room.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely,
No question about it.
And then you could just have so many people sit on you.
Which is someone's read my dream journal. That's not true.
Will Burke in the chat asks, "Hey, how's it going, Will? Not related to this game, but what was it like playing with Timmy Duncan in the late 90s?"
Yeah, man, that guy was just a mechanical wizard.
You played with like young, nubile Tim Duncan.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yep.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
Young
Hey,
Perdue.
Perdue Jr.
So
Young Perdue in the
yeah,
building.
that's my son
What up,
Hunter.
Wait, your name? You have a son named Hunter?
So he's a junior in high school. He's all of 17 and he's 6'8",
No way.
230.
Oh, is that why he can give you a noogie? Because he's 6'8", 230. Okay, it makes sense now. It makes sense
So
now.
wait.
I got it. Okay.
Do you have another son named Good? You have Will, and your son is Hunter.
Good Will Hunter. All right, nice. John.
I get it. That's that keen sense of humor that I've missed.
Oh my god,
So
that was the driest sentence. Every word could have been in quotes.
all right, so I'm gonna jump off here, hang out with him
Okay.
a little bit, and then I'll be back for the post game
Yeah!
show.
Shall
Come
return.
back and hang out with us for postgame. We'll be here, buddy.
Hey,
Ladies and
hold
gentlemen,
on.
Will Perdue. What's up?
Hey, hold on. Don't take this, man. My finger looks big when I do that.
You're 7 feet tall, Will.
Hey,
I almost
Can,
fainted the first time I saw a pair of your slacks.
hey. So you want to know out of this whole group? You want to know who my favorite person
Who's
is?
Yeah.
John's wife.
She's the best.
Can she poke
She
her head in
literally
and
just
say
slammed
hello?
the door and said, "Be quiet." She was like, "She didn't say be quiet," but she was actually sweet. She poured me a bourbon and then went to the room. That was really nice of her. But she's like, all right, have fun with the boys.
Well, I just remember the first time I met her, we had the big, was it
Yeah.
the holiday party?
Yes.
Probably.
She came in, and I kind of felt like that when Sabine saw me coming, he's like, "Hey, I'd like you to be my wife. Be right back."
You guys catch up.
I was like,
I had to get
okay.
a drink. It was a work holiday party. I get very anxious in those situations.
When you're both at home together, she pours you drinks, but when you're out together, she makes you get your own drink.
I
That's
was getting
what
us
you're
both.
No, he was actually getting one. He was
was
doing a
really
gentlemanly thing. He was.
Very.
So, all right, guys, I'll
Can't
see
wait.
you for the post
Comeback.
game.
We'll have a comeback
Will
win.
Perdue. We'll see you for post game.
I'll definitely come back.
Will Perdue, ladies and gentlemen.
Will Perdue. 4 times. 4 times. Yeah. Honestly, guys, I thought for a second that was Bobby Portis wearing number 5 for the Bulls.
Really?
Look at how he plays, like with the ball right now. Tell me that don't look like Bobby Portis.
Yeah, a little bit. And he's got the hyped up higher shorts that Bobby rocked.
Yes, man. I know it's Noah Vonleh, but I for real thought it was Bobby Portis for a second.
Noah Vonleh is the player that every time I see him, I'm shocked he's not a white dude.
Why is that?
When I picture Noah Vonleh, I think I picture like a Plumlee. Like in my mind, I have a very clear idea of who I think Noah Vonleh is. And it is 100% not who Noah Vonleh is.
He's picking that 3.
Which Plumlee was it who just got a ridiculous contract from the Pistons? Miles?
Mason, right?
Mason?
It was the top tier Plumlee, right?
Madagascar Plumlee? They're all M's. I can't remember which one.
It's hard not to overreact, right? With this score.
No,
I'm not overreacting
at all. Like I'm super cool.
It's a preseason game.
Yeah, man.
Like who the hell cares?
But please say his point, please.
The games don't matter, but this is an embarrassing beatdown.
Wow, I honestly didn't look at it like that.
To be fair, I did not watch the third quarter. I only watched the first half.
But I mean, you saw in the first half that the Rockets were hitting a ridiculous amount of their shots.
Yeah, and Cousins came out in the second half. He hit his first 3 threes, like back to back to back.
If DeMarcus Cousins is knocking down threes, like what
this
do you
Rockets
do?
team is all bench players, man. There's not a single NBA starter. Like out there right
John
now.
Wall is
maybe John Wall, but John Wall's played in 2.5 years. Like
he looks good.
Yeah, but he's John Wall. And
yeah, but
like
they got like Gerald. Like DeMarcus Cousins is probably on a good team, a bench player.
Eric Gordon was out there in the first half.
Like, you guys are proving my point. Eric Gordon, we've been smashed by 30 the whole time. This doesn't concern you?
No.
Oh man,
it doesn't concern me at all. Like they're learning a brand new system. Do you remember last year how good the Bulls looked in the preseason? Do you remember how they were coming out like gangbusters for 3 points and all that? They look great. I'm glad they don't look great, honestly, because it looks like they're learning a brand new offense and a new scheme, and we're figuring out who can do what and who can't do what. Like, I have no problem.
I hear you. Who can do what then? All I'm saying is who can't do what.
Patrick Williams can play.
That's it, right? That's the only.
Patrick Williams can play. I like because Will just talked about it too. I like the aggressiveness of Lauri Markkanen in this game.
He
also
should stop shooting. He should be Giannis. I'm telling you, he should be young Giannis and just drive every single time.
Yeah, because when he is aggressive in the post, it's easier for him to shoot threes, as we saw him doing in the second half. It makes it easier for him to do that.
And he's athletic in a way that we don't define athleticism, but he's super athletic.
That's a great way to put it. That's a great.
He's a freak athlete, but we don't. He doesn't in a different way.
Yeah, and then they haven't played in 9 months. So what's that?
Yeah.
Can we talk about how dope that PointsBet commercial is with AI doing the step over in a sports bar?
It's awesome.
Yeah,
because AI doesn't do much.
It's so good. No, AI is not a guy who like, oh yeah, retired NBA player, I'll be in any commercial you want, like Shaq in the general. Like he doesn't do anything. AI is so low key, and the fact that they did that commercial with him and he does the step over. Oh,
Shaq only does like non-union commercials, like Gold Bond. Like they're all like tinted in a poor way, like in like a not nice way. Like they're all B level. He's just like, I'll do it, whatever. No.
Right.
No union. I got you. I don't want insurance deals. No, I'm good. But doesn't AI have that weird contract that's like $5 million every year with Reebok for like 20 years? Like he didn't sign like a huge one that was like $100 million. He was like $5 million for like 2 decades.
Okay.
They're playing it again.
Dude, they're doing it again.
They're doing it again.
Do you see this?
You hear this, John?
Wait, hold on.
They're coming back from commercial highlight reel, and they're using our theme song.
You hear it, John? Look at
The
John.
Bulls
Hit him,
Outsiders theme song.
They've done it twice.
The nerve of these people.
You know what?
Damn.
Because they gave us like a choice of like 5 royalty-free songs that for our theme. Use one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use a different one.
It's like when Zach left Kelly and he brought a new girl to the Max and he started playing A12.
Thank you.
That's their song.
That is exactly.
I can't play A12, man.
Dave, that's exactly what that is. That is an exact.
I used the Jesse Spano reference on Locked On Bulls today because I was talking about how I'm very excited but also scared about this season.
Have you seen it?
I'm so excited.
The reboot?
No, I haven't seen it.
I didn't even know if it was out yet.
So I have friends who write on the show, and I've not seen it yet. But the reviews are like, "This is the best reboot of all time. They did it right. Like
wow.
it was rated like one of the best shows of the year or something in like Splitsider. It's supposed to be like really good. They like do it in a good positive way. Apparently, it's not just like playing the hit.
Comments are popping off right now about them playing the Outsiders
They're
song.
not happy.
Burke said, Bulls Outsiders. Evan Davis said, fuck them. Marlon, salty back. I'm here for it. Lakita, they owe you guys money. # royalties. We didn't write the song,
but it's
for the record.
We made it popular.
In fact, there was no royalties. That's the only reason we had the shot.
Corey said, wait, so why aren't you guys coming back as the Outsiders? Well, I don't know if you've heard about this thing called COVID-19, but
No, it's
been a thing.
Conspiracy, guys.
It's complicated a lot of stuff.
QAnon, whatever, to be on our side. We are victims. And the deep state is against us. And so all good patriots for Bulls Outsiders, just write a nice letter to them asking for us back.
That's right. Write a letter to your congressman. Let them know.
Dear Tammy Duckworth.
Oh, how do you feel about Archie's bun, John?
Man, I'm feeling it.
It is a man bun. You're right.
I got a haircut today, guys.
I see. I noticed. How you feel about it?
My wife with a haircut, and she has. It was amazing. She was.
That's why you got the drink refill.
I thought I looked like a hot Jesus, and I looked like the guy from King of Kong. You know, the guy who like sat by Billy Mitchell. I saw a picture of Billy Mitchell, and I was like, "That's exactly how I look." Oh my god, that guy sucks.
Oh man. Oh wow.
So did you go to like a barber shop?
I have a friend who does it, and I was like real skeptical, and it's like I wore a mask the entire time, and I was the only one that.
Right. That's what I'm really confused about. I haven't gotten a haircut by a haircut person since COVID happened.
We've noticed.
When you're wearing a mask while you're getting a haircut, how do they do the bit around the ear?
It's a great question. I experienced this today. She would take off one of it. She goes, "Can you hold it up with your?" So I would hold it up, and then she would take one down, and then she did the other one, and then she put it back up. Yeah,
one side and
so
the other
it was
side.
Completely.
Okay. Yeah. I was so confused by how
that was like
work.
the third time I've been anywhere not my house since March, and it felt very frivolous. It felt unnecessary.
Was there a lot of people in the shop?
Empty. I was the only one.
Good. That's good.
It was a receptionist, me, her.
There's a receptionist at your barbershop?
Yeah, it's State Street Barber. But my friend does it. So she works. Yeah, which one?
Barber. Well, I used to go to the one in Lakeview.
Ooh.
And then I went to the one in Logan, and now I actually don't go to State Street because I moved to Wicker, and there isn't a State
Wicker has
Street.
like a cool one with like, we'll give you beer. Like
In the barbershop? That's awesome.
there's like some that do that now.
Our barbershop, you can get anything in there.
I would
Like beer is just one of the normal
when
things.
you go to the barbershop, how long are you there?
About
Is
an
it
hour.
a social event or is it an errand to run?
Yeah. It's both for
That's
me.
cool as hell.
It can be for me it's an errand because I like going early in the morning. But when I get there and you get into a conversation or something, when you're there. So it turns into a social.
And then like when you're done,
Yeah.
would you ever like stay and finish the conversation? That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Many a time. I would say an extra 15, 20 minutes, finish the convo we having and then you move on. For sure. Absolutely.
I don't think that's exclusive to a barbershop with Dave, though, because Dave will sit and finish a conversation with anybody wherever they are.
That's a
But
fair
I-
point. That's a fair point.
Like, there have been times where Dave and I have been together and we're talking to a third person, and I'm like ready for the conversation to be over and be like, okay, let's go. And Dave is like continuously talking with this person, and I'm like, God damn, he's too polite.
Yeah.
Like,
I really like conversating with people. I enjoy it. It's not polite.
No,
like
you
honestly,
have a genuine
I really wanna know.
curiosity about other people, which is
Yeah, I really do want to know.
which is infuriating.
No, I get, but like I'm a people person. I enjoy having conversation with people. You take it to a whole other level.
John is stupid.
just
Dog. Y'all ain't catch that. You slid that one in. You ain't catch that one.
It's infuriating that he has a genuine curiosity about his fellow man. But no, I also do think it's like I really like, we don't have like a black barbershop feels like something that there's no correlation in. Like, what do we have? The Gap? Like, what do we have, Matt Pack? Like, yeah, exactly.
Whole Foods, although I don't go there.
Y'all don't want to talk at home.
That's
Oh!
the white people version of a black barbershop,
Yeah,
probably.
Do y'all talk? What place do you go to and you could just congregate with just strangers, like just people you might not know, but you guys are all in the same place.
I feel like that's white people are like that's the world. Like, like white people is like every place is my place. Like, so there's nothing sacred. I feel like in a weird way.
When I lived outside of Chicago, so like when I lived in Los Angeles and when I lived in New York, and I would find Chicago sports bars where like people would go out of Chicago to watch the Bulls, the Bears, the Hawks, Cubs, and Sox. I would find those bars outside of Chicago and be like, okay, these are my people. Like these are strangers that I can talk to and become somewhat quasi friends with. And especially when you would start going to those places on a regular basis and see the same people every week, you're like, okay, Outside of that, no. I don't just like go to random places and I'm like, well, I'm going to make some friends with some strangers today.
Well, yeah, and you're right, man. I will go anywhere and make friends with strangers immediately. Like you're absolutely right about that. I don't care where we are. You can ask my friends. I don't care.
We got to send you to like the Middle East. Like you would go to like.
I would go make some friends.
Jerusalem, be like, we're gonna do a 3-state deal. Like I got this. Like I.
Dude, that happened to me in Boston. Like I got in an elevator to go to a bar, and it was two guys. I don't know what was going on that weekend, but there were a lot of people from different countries going on. It was some conference. I don't know what was happening. It was some conference. But I got on this elevator, and these two guys from Pakistan get on the elevator, and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And they were like, "Hey, where you from?" And I told them I was like, from Chicago. Where you from? They were like, "I'm from Pakistan." And by the time we got off of there, they were like, "Hey, you want to come hang out with us?" I'm like, "Sure." I went and hung out with them.
I love that.
But again, is that not how every story ends when Big Dave meets a new person?
You know what's so funny too? Though, like we all act like Big Dave has this like superpower, and all it is just like he's just a really nice person. Like we all have the ability to do that, but we're all too we're all too small or tired to try.
No.
we're like small, tired, or scared.
Ooh,
John, you weren't
small,
there.
tired, or scared is a
You
great
were.
title.
That's your new album.
All-Star Weekend. We roll up with a couple other colleagues from NBC to go to this all-star party where there's like a media like gathering. and it's at this hotel it's at the Sheraton, downtown Chicago. And we're about to walk through into the front doors of the lobby of the Sheraton. And there's this elegant woman wearing fur, jewels everywhere, looking like a freaking queen. And Big Dave's like, oh, that's Kevin Durant's mom. And just walks up to her and starts talking to her. It's like, hey, how you doing? I'm Dave. And she introduces herself, and I'm like, what are you doing?
He gave me a hug because I just called him.
Gave him a hug.
I just called her Mama Durant. Like when I saw her, I was like, "Yo, Mama Durant, what's happening?" And she was like, and I stuck out my hand for her. She was like, "No, we don't do that." She gave me a hug, and we hugged and we talked and late and who else was there?
Layla was there.
Layla, yes. And Layla was introduced. Yeah, I introduced Layla to her, and we just had a conversation. And then Matt, I was just in the back. It was like, "Hi, I'm Matt." Like,
he was like, "This is my friend Matt," and I was just like, "Hey."
Hi, Kevin's mom.
And then it was fun. We just walked through the lobby. I met Craig Hodges, and
I love Craig Hodges. Wait, Craig Hodges?
Yeah, he was there. And he said, I said, "Man, Craig, wow, it's good to see you, man." I was like, "You're my favorite 3-point shooter. I loved you in the 3-point contest." He was like, "Yeah," and they never invited me back. Like he was still mad. Like he was still mad about it. He was like, "They didn't even invite me this year. You in Chicago, you didn't invite me." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right."
That shows him for wearing not a normal student tie to the White House, right? For a championship celebration.
Like, how dare you express your beliefs?
I mean. He was dude. He was Kaepernick before Kaepernick.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. Did you guys know the story of him and R. Kelly?
No.
It's in his book. He wrote this book, by the way. But his wife met R. Kelly when he was first starting out in LA, and she came back and she told Craig Hodges about him. Like, this is really incredible singer, and I think he's really good. And they were living in Milwaukee. Craig Hodges' wife, they were living in Milwaukee. And Craig met him, and he was like, man, he was really nice, and he was really incredible singer. He wanted to help him out. So he let him stay in his house. And while Craig Hodges, went on the road and did basketball and everything like that. And then when Craig Hodges got back, he came to find out that R. Kelly was sleeping with his wife. And so and everything went bad from that point on. So yeah, he let Kels in, and Kels had a relationship with his wife.
R. Kelly has one speed, man.
But honestly, it reminds me of all R. Kelly songs now. Like that song "Down Low." I was like, oh, that's what that's about. I was like, this Craig Hodges. Okay, it makes sense now.
God,
what a horrible thing to do.
Craig Hodges had some bad luck, man.
Yeah, bro, for real, man.
That guy's lived.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, I also Gafford.
Sato out here raining threes, by the way.
Also,
Sato!
Watching this game, I'm like, oh, the trade deadline, anything. We have no untouchables on this team.
No. I would say the only untouchable, if there is one, is Patrick Williams. The one player that the new people actually chose themselves.
Also know, even then, you're like, for the right package. Like,
hold on. Brandon said R. Kelly was trapped in Hodges' closet.
He's trapped in the Hodges.
Trapped in the Hodges.
Oh my goodness.
He's a 3-point shooter.
God.
Oh, dude, we got Devin Dotson, the hometown kid, checking in.
That meme of the guy behind the tree in the yellow suit doing this with his and it's that's why I feel like anytime the Bulls see a kid from Chicago who wants to play basketball, it's like, ooh, we can get him.
Dude, do you think he slept in that jersey when he got it?
Yes.
Yeah,
probably.
I would.
Yeah. Look at Pat Will. Look at Pat Will.
His mid-range game is quite nice.
Jason Terry slept in his jersey before every game for his entire career.
Really?
And he would sleep in his Arizona shorts every night.
Wow.
Oh, man bun Arch on the move, feeding Bobby Portis, a.k.a. Noah Vonleh. Luke said important takeaways. 1, Hutch's shins aren't sore for now. 2, Pat Will looks good. 3, Boylan is still gone.
It's so funny. This is the first time in a while I have more faith in our coach in front office than I do our players, and it's a weird feeling. And it's really weird because it was the exact opposite last year. And then I was like, I'm like, wait, I trusted these guys? Like, who was in charge? Like, because
that's why I mean, it's such an evaluation year, man. Like so many players, like basically this whole team is under evaluation. Like you said, John, nobody's untradeable. Like honestly, you can ship it out. Which is why I was laughing at people who didn't want to trade for James Harden. Who's trying to hold on to somebody here. Dog.
Still shocked by Bulls fans who are like, nah.
Yeah, right. Like,
no,
man, we good.
No,
okay.
The basketball we've watched the last 3-4 years, nah.
Right. Nah, we don't need an MVP.
It's not like we're giving up Ben Simmons,
right?
Also,
Zach LaVine would be your biggest piece.
I
right?
think. Yeah, it's Otto Porter, Zach LaVine, and Wendell or Laurie in a pick. That will get it done.
And a pick.
That's better than
in a pick.
I don't even think you need the pick if you added Wendell or Laurie.
Oh, you need at least one.
Yeah, you're gonna need one pick. Yeah,
it's
I'm saying
hard.
You don't have to include Wendell or Laurie if it's Zach LaVine, Otto Porter, in a pick. Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they covet a pick more because they have no picks.
But like that's what I was just saying today before you hopped on, though, John. Like the Rockets mortgaged so much of their future draft capital to try to build around Harden in a bunch of different ways, and none of it worked. So they got an empty cupboard. They're going to demand at least 2 first-round picks for Harden.
I think they'll be happy with one, or they'll have to have a all-star. Like Karis LeVert doesn't. You can't. You need picks if your centerpiece is Jared Allen and Karis LeVert. Like.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, guys, we got an R. Kelly story. Evan Davis says, I went to R. Kelly's studio once and had to bring a bottle of whiskey as some sort of peace offering. The door guy greeted us and then took it in to like this makeshift bar. Then all the older folks drank it along with the other peace offerings, the bottles that were brought. So it was quite the experience.
So when you say peace offering, does that mean there was some sort of conflict beforehand, or was it like a?
I was thinking.
Was it like donate? Was it a price for admission, or was it like, no, we're sorry?
Yeah. What was the reasoning behind the peace offering? Like what did you do? Like, did you take one R. Kelly?
Asking R. Kelly what he did, we could be here all day.
No, I said, what did he do? Not him. No, I'm talking about Evan. I'm talking about what Evan did. No, definitely not asking what. I don't want to ask that question. It's not a question I want to answer.
I want to be able, because if I got the information, I couldn't do anything about it.
Right.
I wouldn't. I'm not the guy to tell. Like, tell.
He said it was the price for it.
That's better than a piece. I was worried that you were in trouble with R. Kelly, and I was like,
Me too, bro.
Like, Evan, you can come stay with us. Like.
Yes, you can.
We got you. Like, Evan, we'll lay low. Like,
he said. Then he showed up at like 4 a.m. Yeah, artists don't sleep.
R. Kelly is surprisingly famous for how little. Like his like greatest hits is like one disc.
Oh no, that's not true. No, John. No, that dude got hits after hits. Like, he got a ton
when he dies, and let's say he's not a criminal, like we remember him fondly. What's like the song they start off his NBC he died, and what's the song that ends it?
Feeling on Your Booty. No, I'm just playing.
I think it's remix,
probably,
right?
I Believe I Can Fly
that ends it,
and the Ignition remix. I Believe I Can Fly ends it, and the remix to Ignition.
We're on the same. Okay. Ooh,
that's another one. R. Kelly used to go to my gym. When he decided to play basketball, he teamed up with a buddy and 3 security guards. They would never shoot, only passing him the ball, and set illegal screens to get him open. If you fouled him, security would step to you. It was wild. Wow, dog.
Gang blouses.
Assemble your crew.
Oh my god, that is unbelievable.
Oh my god, that is crazy.
That is unbelievable.
Matt, you're missing some R. Kelly stories from the chat room. These people have some interesting R. Kelly stories.
He's a man of the people. He's not your Kelly. He's R. Kelly.
I feel like missing a crazy R. Kelly story Not a bad thing.
Oh my god, no, these are funny. These are good.
Oh my
You guys
God.
scroll
Look
up.
at Dotson pushing the floor. Oh, he missed the layup, but that was a solid drive.
You guys are so far ahead of me. It's weird.
Wow, Evan said he can vouch for that. He used to show up at my gym too, Lakeshore Athletic Club, and he just shoot every shot.
That's
Oh my
amazing.
God.
Yo, Sato can shoot threes now.
Right.
Yes.
That was part of the plan when they signed him a year ago.
I'm like,
He can
if
be
you're
a guy who can play on or off the ball, who can knock down shots or generate a little bit of offense.
yeah, if you're from that area of Europe and you can't shoot, like, what the hell are we doing? Like, if,
Speaking of that, when do you guys think our second round draft pick is going to make his way here to Chicago?
Oh, the 39-year-old or what?
Yes.
put me on the field for never.
Never? Oh wow.
No, he'll come
Oh,
at
wow,
some
man.
point.
I don't think he will.
I mean,
Well,
very skilled.
Arturis makes me think it will because he doesn't wait
Arturis
second round
clearly
picks.
had people looking at him.
Yeah.
He played on the same Euro team as Jokic, man.
You're right. I think you're right.
He
Yeah.
played on. I can't. I'm drawing a blank on the name of their team, like Max something.
I forgot about Arturis. I forgot the Arturis effect.
But yeah, and like I don't know if you watch his tape on YouTube, John, but
Oh, I have.
kid's got talent.
He's got talent.
He's got talent. Yeah. He needs to eat
And
more
Jokic was
and
super
get some
skinny
more
too.
skill.
So
Yeah. Jokic was super skinny?
yeah. Oh, super fat. I
Wow.
think. What he's one of the other.
Oh, okay.
He was-
Hey, there he is.
God,
I'm sorry, Luke Cornett just ran out.
Cornets.
Robert Ory.
Luke said Sato's about to look way better this year. I think in Donovan's offense, Sato, if he is knocking down shots, like you said, John, could actually be a pretty efficient, contributor to this team's rotation.
Yeah. This team needs shooting. That's the thing we need the most over everything.
Yeah, I think that is the thing that was highlighted in this preseason game is the lack of shooting that they have right now. Otto Porter Jr., he had a solid, performance shooting. Laurie didn't take a lot of shots from three, but Kobe White is hot or cold. We know that. And watching Wendell Carter Jr., what he say, go 0 for 5 from 3-point line. It just kind of highlighted like, oh man, we're gonna need some knockdown shooters, some real guys.
Wendell Carter Jr. I'm done with, man. I've sold my stock. I've sold all my stock. I was holding on to one share and I sold it.
I'm about right there.
I
cannot
stand watching that guy. I cannot stand watching him. I don't know what he does here. What do you do here? What do you do? Oh, you're super smart. You went to Duke for a year. What do you do? Like, oh, you were the.
It's hard to hold on right now. I'm saying I want to see a season of Wendell given opportunities on offense, continuing to grow his game on defense. And if it's the same Wendell after this coming season, then I'll be with you guys. But I just and mostly right now I'm just afraid to be the idiot who gave up on Wendell if he actually turns out to be good somewhere else. That's it. Like,
what does he do? What's the thing that he does?
Defense.
He plays defense.
Do we know that? Like,
yes. We know that. We know that because Wendell got hurt last season and the Bulls defense went to shit.
But he doesn't protect the rim.
Well, he wasn't last season because Jim was playing that stupid blitz defense.
But he's not like a guy who like Gafford protect the rim way better than he did. I guess he's smart at pointing out offensive schemes on defense. I don't know what is this thing where he's like, all right, the game's on the line. Here's my fastball. I'm gonna get every rebound. I can get you a bucket. I can set up my teammates. I can lead. I don't know what his thing is.
Well, that was kind of what I was saying to Matt earlier about Wendell Carter Jr.'s game. It's like, I know he's smart on the defensive end. I get that. But when you're going up against DeMarcus Cousins, who's 7 feet tall, like that smart and all that kind of goes out the window when you're 6'9", going up against a skilled 7-footer, because he's going to dominate you like he was doing early on. He was working them, and then he's going to get you in foul trouble. Because we saw that a lot from Wendell Carter Jr. last year, when he would go, remember he would go against Andre Drummond and Andre Drummond would just go to work on
Yes.
him all the time.
Yes.
He would just get in foul trouble and then just go to work.
Some of that is undersized because he is. Some of that is
Yeah, that's what
some
I
of
mean.
that is a
Yeah.
young player not getting any respect, and anytime a ref sees contact, calling a foul on that young kid. And also, like, I'm not saying it's a conspiracy theory. I think it's just like really weird. If you guys go back and watch some of the tape of Wendell picking up fouls this past 2 seasons since he came into the league, he has fouls called on him on multiple occasions where he's nowhere near the ball and it's not an off-ball foul
That's
call.
true.
Yes.
It's like magically assigned Wendell fouls that made no sense. And it's like, I know it sounds like,
That's very
like
true.
tinfoil hat shit, but it happened. And I
I
don't
agree.
know why.
No, it's true. There's video.
I
There's
agree.
video.
I'm
on
accounting
YouTube.
for
Yes.
all of that and asking him what he does. Like, I get that you get some fouls called on you, but you're still out there sometimes, so you got to do something. I just don't. At some point, I need him to. Like, what is his ceiling? If I were to ask you right now, will he be an all-star once in his career? What would you pick? I would pick absolutely not. He will never be an all-star.
Oh man, that's a
But also,
statement.
there's very good players who have never been all-stars. Like
Yeah,
Mike Conley's
true.
never been an
Very
all-star. Like Drew Holiday's never been an all-star.
Wow.
Like
Yeah. And like
Yeah, playing in that way.
some of the best draft picks that have come through the Bulls in the post-dynasty era, Joakim and Luol Deng, yes, made 2 all-star teams, but like as reserves that were like, yeah, I guess you're good enough to be an all-star. The East is kind of shitty, like.
But Joakim also like does something different too. Like Luau maybe yes, but like
Well, and the one Joakim year in particular where he was DPOY and they ran the offense through him as point center.
Point center.
he was like
Point center.
it's like one of those like this is gonna sound like a dig, but I mean it as a compliment. Like when you go back at like when you look at his numbers that year, you're like, what the hell? It's like when you look at the Isaiah Thomas year when he got 5th in MVP,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this was the greatest player in the world.
Yeah,
But some
truly.
people just get so Gilbert that one year. Oh my god! Like
Yeah.
I love those. There
Yeah.
needs to be like a 30 for 30 on like those like outlier 1 year greatness because we don't appreciate like those get forgotten. They shouldn't get forgotten because they're so special.
Yeah,
Uh,
I agree.
Evan said Wendell was great at Duke, no doubt. He's just not athletic enough to be in the starting rotation. His offense is too stiff. He's very hesitant. I don't disagree with any of that right now. I would like to see if any of that could change. And if it can't, fine.
Yeah.
Because the other thing to me is like, you guys, I'm rocking my Lowry City Edition jersey right now.
Lowry.
I truly believe that Lowry or Wendell will be gone a year from now.
Yes.
They're not going to keep both of those guys because they don't work together as a front court.
And Lowry's gonna be gone.
If I can pick one of those two to turn into the potential I see in them, I'm picking Lowry.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's
every
why
day.
he'll be the one traded, and you'll be stuck with Wendell Carter Jr. Because no one who's going to take
that.
Wendell.
Somebody's
No.
gonna take him.
You don't need guys
Yeah.
like that.
Someone's gonna. And honestly, John, I still think he's playing out of position. Like I would love to see him play
It's
more
hoops,
at the
man.
point than I would.
It's
Dude,
hoops.
your boy C-Dub just said Wendell Carter isn't a center. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, he's not. He's
But he's
not
also-
a center, man. Like
But you got to be able to hit threes if you want to be a forward.
I mean,
like-
great point.
like-
Which he did at a 40% clip at Duke.
Oh, Mobley.
Yeah,
Oh.
1 year at Duke, college 3-point line, like with smaller defenders. Like
I know.
us saying that he was good at Duke without like him being like Carmelo Anthony is insane. Like Carmelo Anthony was good at Syracuse. He was fine at Duke. He wasn't the best player in the world or the college player of the year his year. Like I'm mad because we need him to get good, so he's the one who gets traded.
Speaking of that, Luke has a really interesting question, you guys. Having not seen Wiseman play yet for the Warriors, keeping Pat Williams' performance in mind, do you wish the Bulls had made the trade to the Warriors to turn Wendell into Wiseman? I do not.
I don't.
And you know why? Because I am really crushing hard on Pat Williams.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say. Patrick Williams, man, and I mean, I was really impressed what I saw beforehand, on the videos, but seeing it on the court tonight and just seeing that mid-range game, it just looks smooth. And I just like how he let the game kind of come to him. Now, of course, he's a rookie, and of course, he made a bunch of mistakes, especially on the defensive end, especially on rotations, especially guys just the one foul we saw, Matt, when he basically tried to throw a guy into the baseline. He still got that stuff to work on, but putting the ball into the basket at a consistent pace is what I was really impressed with by him today.
And I was probably before I wanted to make that trade during the draft. At this point, we just need assets. Like we need bodies to use in trades, and giving up on that. And I think with Wiseman, you kind of know his ceiling. And Patrick, even if he becomes an asset, he's one of those guys who are like, maybe he's a Jermaine O'Neal from the Blazers, and he goes to Indiana and he's amazing. Like, I think he has that mystique about him still. After one game, who knows?
Burke said, "I love what I saw from Pat Williams tonight." I think that that's clearly the biggest takeaway of the evening. As far as the Wiseman Wendell trade, Derek said, "Nah, I think that rumor was cap anyway." I agree. I never thought there was anything truthful there, and like Wendell said that himself the first time he met with media in training camp and like their Zoom media meetings. He said, "I knew deep down I was going to stay a Bull. I knew that was all." He called it bullshit. The rumor about Wendell to the Warriors for a 4-2 pick swap. He was like, "Yeah, it's bullshit." I always believed that. I didn't think that the Bulls were looking to trade up because, in my opinion, nobody in this draft was worth trading up for.
No one is.
Certainly not Wiseman.
He wouldn't give up an asset.
It was my favorite part about draft night was when we heard Arturas talking at the conclusion of draft night to the media, and somebody asked him flat out, "Did you guys have conversations about trading up tonight?" And his quick and immediate and blunt response was no. All of that talk about the Bulls and possibly moving around that led up to draft night was started not by them but by other teams.
Yep.
It's true.
Meanwhile,
It's very true.
your beloved Mavericks were trying so hard to trade up. They were giving everything away, and no one would take their calls.
First of all, John, did the gloves come out? Am I seeing this right?
Hobo gloves.
I bought these new ones, guys, for season 3, and
Is that leather?
I feel like Michael Scott at Burlington Coat Factory.
Oh man, dude,
Thanks,
those are
man.
fly.
They're biking gloves,
I like
but
those.
I had to wear them.
I like
My
those.
hands got cold.
I dig them, man. They look warm,
Guys,
They look warm.
okay, so
I
the
think
game's
we're about
over.
The guest of honor back in for his post-game thoughts.
All right. Thrill Purdue.
Yes, we bring Will in. Will the Thrill Purdue, 4-time champ. Will Purdue.
He
Just
has
fun to
more
say.
champions than I have pairs of pants. That's insane.
Wait, are you talking like all-encompassing, like
Not-
jeans,
no,
slacks?
I'm talking non-sweatpants, non-leisure wear, like going out pants, like to a
Wow.
place.
Wow.
I bought a lot. Okay, all right, guys. So let's pretend that this is a post game. What's our A story? What's our A story, guys? Is it Pat Williams?
I mean, so if we were talking right now in the green room while post-game happening about what we're talking about on Outsiders, we would clearly all say Patrick Williams is story block 1A, right?
Yep. So
Yeah.
what would be
Enjoy
your,
what I
what
saw
would be your
from
B
him, yeah.
story? And this,
Oh, dear God, perimeter
that was-
defense.
yes. And 3, I would say lack of offense.
Lack of the
No one
shooting.
can shoot.
No, yes, that didn't bode well.
If we're needing
That-
Thomas Sadaransky to shoot 4 or 5 to be in a game.
And again, preseason. Like let's do it again. Like all the Porter Jr. didn't play in the
But
second half.
preseason against a team that the Rockets are broken and battered. They have a new coach just like us. They're not like this well-oiled machine. Gerald Green was bagging groceries 2 weeks ago. This is a team that you shouldn't lose by 20, 25 to.
I don't know, man. It's preseason and you're putting in a brand new system. And you're trying to figure out who can do what. You already kind of know who can do what on Houston. you can just plug and play certain
These
guys.
are all
They already know
strangers
what's
in Houston.
going on. No, not really. Like those guys, you can play. It's not like the strangers were kicking their behind. It's the guys who were there last year and who was in that bubble already. We're playing.
Only Bledsoe. Covington's gone. Harden wasn't playing. Wall is new. Gerald Green is new. How?
Gerald Green Green's always with the Houston Rockets. He's not really new. I'm saying he's always with the Rockets. Dude has an R in his head. Like he always got an R in his head. Like braids. He's always that, man.
In terms of they've had a week to play, and we've had no new people except for Patrick Williams.
Now let me ask you though, like but again, like DeMarcus Cousins is better than anything we have on this team, and John Wall is better than whoever we got on this team. Right?
Man, is that true?
Like those are better basketball players than what we got. So it's gonna look better on their end.
Both of those names you just named are perennial all-stars.
Not perennial. The word that perennial is incorrectly used in that situation. They were perennial all-stars. They are has-beens now. Let's Google the average amount of games played in the last 5 years. Both of them.
John, conversely, let me quote Mighty Ducks here real quick. When Gordon Bombay's old coach, who he then goes up and coaches against, says to Gordon Bombay, "You're not a has-been. You're a never was."
Yes. But
Bulls are a bunch of never wases.
But this is a team that is going to maybe not make the playoffs. This Rockets team.
Okay, I'm just looking at their stats here. Like Eric Gordon had 16. Who else? Ben McLemore had 10.
Great.
DeMarcus had 14 and 5. John Wall had 13, 9 and 5. And 2 steals. Like that's a John Wall game.
That's not like, that crazy. Preseason. How many minutes did he play? Nothing.
He played 18
minutes, 13 points. That's not. I mean, again, like I'm just saying, like we got smacked around by a team that's fine, who just met and played for a week together, and we've been together for years. I get it's news. Yeah, but they've been texting. Like they know each other. Like, these aren't strangers. It's not like, hey,
dude, you can get on the court at the playground and not meet nobody and still run off 5 straight wins. Like you don't have to be best friends.
Exactly.
You know
but I'm saying the fact that like we had the chemistry advantage, and we, I mean, you guys are. I'm not saying
the talent advantage for me goes to Houston.
Zach LaVine should be better than John Wall at this point in 2021.
What did Zach have? Zach ended up with 12 points, 3 rebounds in 22 minutes. Shot 4 of 8. That's pretty 4 of 8 shooting. That was cool. A minus 26.
Yeah, everyone was though. Everyone was.
And John Wall was a plus 27.
That first quarter though, but it was never close. Like,
and how many minutes did John Wall play?
18.
Like I said, he played 18
and he was a plus 27. Yeah. Good Lord.
Now they did get destroyed in the second half by some dude named Bruno Cavacolo, who dropped like 17 and 7 on them
from 2 drafts ago.
He balled out, but then again, Noah Vonleh was our guy who dropped 12 and 8. Like, but for me, honestly, I hear you, John. Like, I don't want to poo-poo on your point, honestly, but for me, it's preseason game 1 for a team in a brand new system, and I want all the mistakes now because I didn't expect them to come out and look great. Like I just didn't. I didn't want them to come out and look great. I didn't want them to come out looking like we got stuff figured out. Like they're too young to be that way. Like I just want them
asking
to
learn. Lose by 12. Like that's all I'm saying. Okay. Have it like. Let's get to halftime before it's a blowout. That's all I'm saying. Like, guys, I'm not saying I'm not saying like they should have had it figured out. They should be world beaters. I'm saying like after the first quarter, it shouldn't be a 15-point deficit. That's all I'm saying. It shouldn't be 37-22, whatever it was.
Well, we got pretty used to that last season.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, Josh said favorite part of the whole game was not having a meaningless timeout in the last 90 seconds.
That's the comment of the time.
Salim just joined us. What's up, Salim? How you doing, buddy?
Salim. Luke says vibe check. How many of us suddenly felt comfortable when we noticed we were down 30? Close games are too entertaining. F that. Much more comfortable to get smacked by 49-year-old Gerald Green and watch Lowry send his first pass in the orbit.
Oh my god,
Dude, that
Lowry
pass was so bad.
pass.
Dude, that was so bad.
If the rows of the stadium weren't covered up by that plastic, it would have been 10 rows deep in the 100 section.
I was sitting by myself. My wife's not home from work yet. I literally said out loud, "Gulp," because that was the worst first possession ever.
It was so bad. It was so
And
bad.
everyone was
tough.
bad. Like the pass was just like the cherry on top.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, their defensive rotations and the communication, and they just look lost out there. Everybody was in each other's way on the offensive end. Like nobody, the spacing was bad. Like the spacing was not good at all. They didn't figure. Like you could tell they didn't know yet. The communication was off too, I thought. But yeah, I just think they're figuring stuff out. But I hear your point. Like you shouldn't look this. You shouldn't look this bad after that much time off playing against a team that doesn't have their best.
I know when a team doesn't have it, but they're trying, and I'm seeing it. And I'm like, okay, shots aren't going in. Like I know, when they're like,
right.
And
right.
this is still like, oh, they don't even know, like what kind of book they're writing. Like, is it a mystery? Is it a rope? They have no freaking clue what this is. Like.
That's because Denzel Valentine.
They'll never be there.
That's all that
God,
was.
these are the people.
All right, you're right. I'll give myself
These
5.
are the people that we have to talk about.
Give me
we
5
have to
seconds.
talk about Denzel Valentine like he matters. That's insane.
Right.
Like
he's a player who didn't do anything last season other than a couple of spots.
He's never done anything.
It's all 82. Yeah.
In the NBA.
It's true.
He doesn't have an NBA moment.
Except Summer League.
He was the Big Ten Player of the Year. Okay, cool.
I mean, did you see his performance for Sparty in that tourney? Wow, great stuff. Billy was like, "Oh, these guys actually do suck."
Oh my gosh. Derek says Denzel is the Benjamin Button of basketball. The curious case of Denzel Valentine. I love that.
Oh my god. Hey, one good thing we didn't see. We did not see Felicio tonight in a preseason game.
We did
in a preseason game. Do you know how bad he must think he is?
Saw him on the bench, and the fact that he exists is insane.
Dude, it's a preseason game, and he still didn't get any tick. That's so wild to me. Like there was nothing wrong with him. They were like, "Nah, we're good." But you guys look bad out there on up. Nah, we're all right. That's saying, man, dude. That dude's trash. He's got to go.
That alone is fireable for the Garpax. Like that alone should be enough. Like that. I rest my case, Your Honor. This is the only evidence I need.
Yeah. Denzel hit a floater.
At one time, he's kind of good at hitting floaters. Like that's it.
Luke says, based on one single preseason game, it is premature to say that I'm pretty sure Kobe won't be a distributor ever. That dude is hardwired to score.
Well, let him score then. Like at least score. Like I think I want to have players that I want to cheer for, not just that they're on my team. And I'm waiting for that to happen. Lowry's the closest thing to it for me right now. Maybe Patrick Williams.
Yeah. Kobe ended up with 15 points and 6 assists in 23 minutes. Shot 5 of 11 from the field. 2 of 4 from the 3-point line.
6 assists is nothing to sneeze at. Like when Kobe started to really take on a greater usage percentage and responsibility towards the end of last season, his rookie year, you saw those assist numbers like slowly tick up, towards January, February, March. And it left the whole fan base wondering, can he be an actual facilitating point guard in addition to, like you were saying, John, just like a bucket, go get a bucket. That was what I was most curious about going into this season. In addition to, can Wendell have an offense? Can Lowry save his awful last season? Mostly about Kobe, because we know the speed he plays with. He can run, he gets downhill, he can catch fire from downtown. When it gets to half-court offense time, can Kobe orchestrate an offense? That is the big question that needs answering this season.
So who's Kobe the poor man's? Like, is he the poor man's Fox? Like, who is he?
I don't know yet.
Because the
I know he can
Fox
score.
distribute like
That's
that? I
what
don't think
know.
he does. He can, but I don't think that's what he leads with. It's like his fourth
He
thing.
can. Yeah. Yeah, he can. He can get you 10 assists, but he'll get
But
you
also,
30 points for sure.
Assists are incumbent on having players who can score. So
That's what Brandon
Really?
just said. Brandon said 6 assists
Thank
when
you,
no one
Brandon.
can make a shot is
I did not
actually
read that
impressive.
yet. Like I actually think like we might think he can't distribute because he's with people who can't score.
Yeah. That's the point.
I
That's the
can't
excellent
believe
point,
I'm
man.
the one who's mad
I
right now about this game.
Yeah, it's the first preseason
They
game.
got
Like I'm not
blown
mad at the first
out
preseason
from-
game, bro.
We were
I'm just
3
I'm just
minutes
not
in.
mad.
It's like game's over.
I don't know why that I'm oddly calm
This
right
is
now,
so-
but I am.
This is so weird for me.
It's
man.
it's
Just-
preseason.
It was 3
preseason,
minutes
man.
in. It was
Like, I'm like, all
over.
right.
Again, I'm not mad about the loss. I'm mad that it was
Over in the first 3
varsity
minutes.
versus fifth grade.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hear you.
yes, but again, first game with a new coach and a new
Are you
system.
talking about Houston or us? Are you talking about Houston or us?
Us.
Because it also
Us.
'cause
Houston
it's
looked like they were
same
doing
for
what
Houston.
they did last. But Houston looked like
You're
they were
talking about
doing
new-
what they always do. They
new
coming
system,
down
new
shooting
coach?
threes.
Same thing.
No, I'm saying Houston looked like they did what they already always
They
do,
got-
which is shoot threes.
They got
And
a new
was
coach, and
killing
James
them from
Harden
that.
was their system, and he wasn't there.
Dude, they was pulling them threes,
John
man.
Wall, known for being such a bomber. No, like
I mean, they shot 52 threes. Like they were
Truly.
24 or
and they
52.
crushed us.
Yeah.
But,
they shoot.
They also had a new coach.
We'll
Yes.
we'll see if the Bulls find themselves down 20, after 12 to 15 minutes on December 23rd when they actually start the season, then we can have this conversation.
At this point,
And
I would take that.
And John, if that happens, I'll tell you, I won't be shocked because again, this is a team with not an overwhelming amount of talent. This is a team that has a long way to go to figure stuff out, and their schedule out of the gate is disgusting.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if the Bulls start 0-6, 0-7, 0-8. It's possible because they're a new young team with a new young coach trying to figure stuff out, and they're not that talented right
It's
now.
not a young coach, though. If it's Steven Silas or Billy Donovan has the advantage. Steven Silas is the new coach.
Okay, not young in age, young in the
No, but
system.
I'm saying, like,
yes, he has 5 years experience in a previous
experience,
job.
yes.
but-
Like I think I'm worried that I'm slowly realizing that I used to make excuses for these players, thinking they had higher potential than they might not just be that good at basketball. Why do I think these people are good at basketball? Because of 3 games that Lowry had. And I think that's why I'm mad. Is I was like, I believed in these people, and I have to. For some reason, I follow C-Ray Fred, and all he does is be like, if given the barometer of the humidity of the day, could Lowry potentially, if the dollar is this much, be better? And you're like, maybe why do we care about these guys, and maybe they're just not that good at basketball.
Gustavo says John Sabine is used to watching the Mavs and a winning team with a great
That's true.
player.
I'm very used to that. I'm very spoiled. But I also think that's a team that is, without Luka, still has people who can score. And I think that's what we need is shooting. And
yeah, agreed.
But okay, assuming what, Kristaps? Like who outside of Luka on that team is your reliable scorer?
Well, Seth's gone, but Maxi Kleber would be our second best 3-point shooter on the Bulls, and he is the 12th best shooter on the Mavs. Besides Boban. Dorian Finney-Smith shoots better than Wendell Carter Jr. or Lowry does right now. It's crazy,
right?
And he's not a good shooter, is what I'm saying. But he is.
Brandon brings up a good point because Brandon says John is realizing the window for quote unquote potential maybe closing.
We're on the same wavelength.
That is fair. I agree with that, which is why the reason I'm calm right now is that as much as we're excited to get Bulls basketball back and want to be relevant again, this season, I'm like, dude, like driving range, like don't care. Figure out what's going on. AK, Donovan, figure out who you like on this roster and who you don't.
Yeah.
Make your transactions and go from there. We shouldn't be talking about the Bulls losing to Houston without Harden and a new coach by 30 in the first preseason game. Because guess what? None of that fucking shit matters. Not a single ounce of it. What matters is a new front office and a new coaching staff evaluating what we have and keeping the pieces they want and trading the pieces they don't want. That's it.
Well, no, it does
season.
matter if we lose by 30 we lose all the time and no one can play and we can't trade anyone. Unfortunately, that's when it matters. You're right. You're right in like the game theory. These people are pieces. This team at the end, the team in 18 months will be completely different. We cheer for Laundry. Who's going to take any of these people? Who can we trick into taking Wendell Carter?
Dude, GMs are stupid.
It just takes one, right? It just takes one.
GMs are dumb, man.
It only takes one bad
GMs
GM.
are dumb. They do it all the time. Did you just see what they got for Drew Holiday?
Yeah, but
Like,
that
GMs are
was
dumb. Like it happens all the time.
that wasn't
You can
for Drew
sell them
Holiday.
on
That was for
potential every
Giannis
day.
and Drew Holiday.
That's cool, but I'm saying you gave up everything
Because
for Drew Holiday.
And John, how many examples are there of teams giving up assets to get a lottery pick player who needs a fresh start? Whether it's Wendell or Lowry or Zach or Kobe, whoever, they can get assets for any of those guys.
You cannot get a first-round pick for Wendell Carter Jr. You cannot at this point. You cannot. I'm saying you can get 2 second rounds, or you can swap 2 players who are in a bad fit. But I'm saying we have the 7th pick, who's 2.5 years removed from being drafted, and we cannot get a first round pick from him.
Right. And I'm telling you, this is a preseason game. Chill out, because guess what? Between now, first preseason game of the season, yay, the Bulls are back, to the trade deadline, we might see Wendell develop some other skills and talents that he showcases to the rest of the league.
You are trying to tell me.
Every single player on this roster has the potential to raise their value that AK and Donovan see as worth keeping, or raise their value as a trade piece.
I have only watched this man play basketball every single game he's ever played in his entire career. And you're saying, yes, maybe this could happen. You're right. I could be wrong. How many chances do we have to give this man to show us that he can play basketball? It's not like it's like a football player where he's like in the wrong position and only 2 players get access to the ball. If you want the ball, go get the fucking ball. It's basketball. It's the only sport where you can do that. Like, so yeah, you could be, here's the thing, you could be right. I'm saying this confirmation bias, losing by 30 points, was such a confirmation. That's what sits me uneasy. It's not that we lost. It's that it was such a confirmation.
Wendell Carter Jr. ended up with 4 points, 7 rebounds, on 1 of 7 shooting, 0 for 5. Oh, 0 for 5
Boylan threw Houston wrong
in 19 minutes.
That is
19
insanely terrible.
C-Dub says, I love this John so much. Dominique says Matt and Dave are too optimistic.
No, they're not. They're right. Here's the thing. I also think you guys are right, and I think I'm right. You guys are talking about.
I just said this team can start 0-8. What are you talking about?
You guys are seeing it through the team building. You guys are seeing it through the GM team building lens, and I'm seeing it as talent evaluation. That's the difference. And you're like, I've been burned before. I'm not going to get to. I mean, you're wearing the Lowry jersey, but you're not going to get to. We're not going to buy a Levine jersey, and he's our best player. But none of us will buy a Levine jersey. Why would we? Are we insane? And we like the Bulls, and we're not going to buy the jersey of the best player. And I think I'm saying maybe we think they're better. We thought they were better than they were, and it wasn't just Boylan. Boylan was it's like Trump being the boogeyman for all the Republican Party. It's like Boylan's a symptom, and maybe they're just bad.
But that's what I kept saying why I like this year so much, because all the excuses are gone. Like Boylan's gone, Tanaka's gone. Like you got rid of Guard, you got John Paxson telling people where to get steak. Like all of that is removed now, and all that's going to be left is the talent evaluation, like you're saying. So that's why I like this year so much. That's why honestly I was quite comfortable coming into it, and I'm still comfortable with it, because you're going to find out like that cream is going to rise to the top or it's going to fall to the bottom one way or another, man. Everybody's on this evaluation right now. So
this was competitive for 270 seconds this entire game. And that is not an exaggeration. Like, and I get it. Like, it doesn't matter. But no, like at some point, it's just about putting the ball in the basket. That's all it is.
But it don't. But honestly, I can't get that.
I'm not
sad.
On I'm just like
game.
tired.
I just can't. Or even that kind of emotion, like oh my god, like I can't have that after one preseason game.
You guys are right. You guys are right. It's one preseason. It doesn't matter. They could bounce back. I'm saying I'm tired of the coulds with this team.
Yeah, I hear you, and you're right. Like,
it's like why are we investing
honestly
2 hours? They don't invest in a whole game ever. Invest in a game.
Gustavo said
that attitude, John, is an attitude that I felt pretty much all of last season. Yeah, I'm coming into a new fresh start and a new season with not that attitude. And it's still not like, like rose-colored glasses like our pal Fred.
He's delusional. He has to see a doctor.
I still think like, okay, all I care about now is a new front office getting shit right. And if it involves selling off most of this roster and they can't even get great return value, which appears to be your main argument right now about the pieces that they have, like, okay, fine. Fine. The most important point, new front office, new coaching staff, fresh start. Let them use this season to figure shit out. That's all that matters. It doesn't.
See, you're just so binary. We're both right. I'm mad. Why did I invest this time with this team if there's trash? We've been subjected to trash. I trust that they'll fix it, but also great. The assistant GM of Denver of a team that's never won a championship might be able to help us. He found 3 players once. Like we think he's he's Jerry fucking West, and he's not. Like let me believe in him.
No, I think he's better than what we had.
Which is not a hiring solution. Like, and here's the thing, this isn't about AK, but I'm saying like I think the reality of our context just hit me today. That's all it is. Like, and I think personally, I blamed it on the big boogeyman of Boylan and Garpax, and that was all of our troubles. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, oh, maybe we just can't play instruments. Like, and I think that's scary.
Maybe the band just sucks.
I don't have many good memories of individual. I have a couple of Kobe memories. I have 2 or 3 Lowry memories in the last 3 years. Zach memories, and that's it.
Chris says, "Oh my God, is Matt the new John?"
Let's hope so. This is Freaky Friday, man. But I agree with you. This is a season. Here's the thing: in a perfect world, this team's at the end of the season is all new people, right? So there we go. Yeah. We agree. We think these people are trash. We agree. We are rooting for these people to not be in our lives anymore, right?
Bye, Felicio.
That guy.
I just need Felicio to leave. Just need him to leave. Bulls equal new/old girlfriend. Salim says, yeah, it was never just Boylan. It was Garpax because they created this roster outside of Pat Will.
That's it. That's right. That's the only answer, right?
But also, Brandon says, but also like our young core are all 7 picks. Like those are rarely are superstars.
And again, yeah, you're right. But we're also like, if we pick 7 times, 7 and 7, like one of those should be an all-star, or at least good.
I agree with that. Or at least good. Oh man, this is awesome. After one preseason game, this conversation, dude, this is great. Dude, preseason game 2 is going to be wild.
What did I say at the beginning of all this tonight? Like everyone's going to have ridiculously over the top overreactions to a preseason.
No, that's
game.
fair if it's a 8-point loss. This was third again. 3 minutes in and it was a blowout. And like that's where the difference is. You're right. It doesn't matter. It could bounce back. It's new. All of these things are right. This wasn't a basketball game, man. This was the Washington Generals. I've seen more competitive those games. Like this wasn't even like close in the first quarter.
There he is.
Hey!
There he is. Will.
I had to pay my cable
Will.
and wireless bill.
Would you have to dig in your couch cushions to find that?
Oh
money?
yeah,
You had it there?
man! Shake all the coins out of the vacuum. So,
All right, welcome back into the broadcast, Mr. Perdue. Can you do us a favor real quick and talk John Sabine off the ledge? Because he's convinced that after one preseason blowout loss that this Bulls team is
it's
worthless.
not one preseason. It's all I've seen in the past 3 years and this one. You don't judge it in a vacuum. I am done with everyone. I'm tired of these people wasting my time.
don't make promises you can't keep.
Who do we root for? Will, who do we root for on this team? Who has earned your trust?
All right, let me break this down for you real quick, okay?
Please do.
This team's last game was what, March? My last game that I worked was March
10th.
10th, 9th or
but
10th.
their last game was the 10th. So they technically haven't been together as a group since March 10th.
So they're super well rested.
They were literally only together for a 2-week period in August.
Okay.
And Billy Donovan wasn't even there, so they really didn't implement much. They did a lot of individual work.
I hear you. Doesn't that sound like the Rockets as well?
Just not so much.
New coach, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins. There's no Harden wasn't there. Like it's the same argument.
But
These
I
are all
think they're still
too.
trying to win now. You make some valid points.
Thank you.
But I'm trying to stay positive here. Don't take me out on the ledge with you.
Come out.
If you just,
by the way, Will, John is convinced that John Wall and Boogie Cousins are just like obsolete.
Yeah.
They're like, when comparing the levels of talent of these rosters, John was like, Boogie and John Wall, they don't count. They're a bunch of has-beens.
Really? Like I'm right. In this
No,
respect.
that is not true. I think John Wall looked as good as ever.
Thank you.
Since 2017, that was his first game since 2017. So we're talking. The Bulls haven't played since March. John Wall hasn't played for 3 fucking years. Like, you guys want to use that argument?
This? Can you say whatever you want here?
Yeah.
Is that the deal?
Yes, you can.
No filter?
Yes, you can. Welcome to Hot Mike.
So hold
So
on.
that might turn into a hot take.
DeMarcus Cousins hasn't played in 2 years either. It's like, yes, they're good, but like these aren't a team who's played. Your argument is the Bulls haven't played together, and they just got beat by people who literally haven't played.
Hold your drink up and shake it, and see if your wife will come running to get you another one.
Oh my god, I would never. But truly, like, so your arguments are like technically right, but in the inverse, with the Rockets, it's even stronger. So they don't work in this situation. Yeah, the Bulls haven't played since March. DeMarcus Cousins and John Wall haven't played since Trump's first month.
John Wall is still better, man. Like John Wall is still better than what we have on this team, bro.
But
still. And so is DeMarcus Cousins. Like even with them not playing, even when they left out, they were still better than what we have on this team. And them coming back, they're still better than what we have.
They're not that good though. Think about when we play an actual team with actual all-stars.
But they're better. But I'm saying, but they're still better. Like
listen,
they're good. They're gonna ball out.
I was really not too concerned about what I saw tonight. I would have liked to have seen a lot better, but what I'm more concerned about is what happens on Sunday. If we see the same exact thing on Sunday, then I'm very concerned.
I'm with you. Okay.
All right.
Okay. I kind of hope so because I want this John again. Like, I kind of hope this goes down one more time.
Oh my god!
Honestly,
I will say this. Hold on, while you're stuttering there, John. We've had some good comments in the chat section about the Houston Rockets I'm not even though D'Antoni is not the coach, Silas is. I think their offense is still very perimeter oriented. And what did they do early? They hit a lot of threes.
Yes.
What did the Bulls do? Did not hit a lot of threes.
There it is.
Okay. That's why I'm saying they have a day to adapt. They have a day to look at film. They have a day to make some changes.
Oh, so they're gonna watch film and go, "Oh, we should shoot better."
Film isn't going to help that.
Yeah. Oh, spoiler alert! We're supposed to put the ball in the basket. Like, this is not that hard. Like, again, I'm not saying losing is bad. Don't be down 25 at 8 minutes in the first quarter. That's all I'm asking.
You're asking a lot.
Competitive. It was never competitive.
You're asking
Just don't be down by 20. But
here's the other thing I'm going to tell you. And Stacey talked about it during the game. They, as a team, developed a lot of bad habits. And it's almost like the kid that comes in and only plays 1 year of college. You got to break them down before you build them up. And I think this team has had to go backwards before they go forwards. I know a lot of people don't want to believe that, but, and like Dominique, the Bulls don't have a definitive best player. We don't know who the best player is. We don't know who the go-to guy is. No. We don't know what this team's strengths is.
We don't.
It should be Zach.
I mean, let's go back to last year. What was one of the best games they played all year was an incredible comeback against Charlotte, but Zach had to drop 43.
49.
Huh?
49, I thought, right?
I apologize.
49.
But if that's what we need from him every night, we're not going to be that good. That's why we're waiting to see what's Lowry's role. And I think, listen, we were kind of joking in the third quarter. I think that Wendell Carter was like too determined to prove that he could hit the three. Well, so far I haven't seen anything that says he can. All right.
He might.
Yeah, that was truly brutal. I was really
loving
bad.
it. I don't smoke cigarettes, but if I did, I'd smoke a new one for each missed one, just all the way down.
Hey, I have a new role for John Sabine.
Yes.
Chili Palma.
Okay.
But I mean, again, when if not preseason, to try new things with some of these young players who are trying to expand their games. If Wendell doesn't go 0 for 5 from behind the 3-point line in the first half, maybe the Bulls aren't in that big of a hole, John.
They're on what, 18? Like we're talking about. Oh, they have bad habits because DeMarcus Cousins and John Wall and Gerald Green are this amazing habit forming players.
Yeah, but here's the thing about I will say this. Here's the thing about DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins, regardless of how bad the offense is, just tell him to get in the post and throw him the ball.
And there it is, a baller, a basketball player.
He's either going to score or get fouled because of how good he is, the talent level that he has. Yeah, he's coming off an injury, but he still has a skill set as a big man that not many guys in the league have. Period.
Imagine if we play a team with an actual all-star. Will we lose by 50?
Well, we're going to find out real soon when the season starts.
Because right now, we just got smoked by a team that currently does not have an all-star with a coach coaching its very first game ever.
But they were filling it up from the outside.
That good for them. We weren't. But you could that ain't rocket science.
Exactly.
They still lost by 30 against a team that isn't even that good. They're not a playoff team in the West. Without Harden, they're not a playoff team.
You're exactly right. But this is what I can say, John.
Guys,
it's worrisome, but it's still early. But we knew this game would probably create more questions than it's going to answer.
You guys right now sound like my parents on November 10th, and I was like, Trump hasn't conceded yet. This is kind of weird, right? And they're like, oh, it's fine. You're overreacting. And we're close to Christmas, and now there's lawsuits and new states being formed. This is what it feels like. It feels like, why can't we? But
he's still lost.
But there's lawsuits. He still hasn't conceded. People are still half the states went through. But
he's still leaving though.
Sure, maybe. But the fact that it hasn't, why isn't it weird to be like, this is weird, right? It's weird. It's not pessimistic.
Well, because that's not a pre-election. Like this is a preseason basketball. It's a pickup game. Like I can't get
It's
stressed on the
though.
pickup. I can't.
Basketball.
Like honestly, Don, I can't get stressed on the first preseason game in 9 months for a team that won 22 games previously. Like
they lost.
I just can't do it. I can't do it.
I'd be fine. It's just like give it.
It'd be the same if the Bulls came out and won by 30. I still wouldn't be sitting here going crazy because, oh my God, they went crazy. They won by 30 and this guy dropped 40 points. I still wouldn't be going crazy because it's the first judging one game.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that because you've had the last 3 years of watching them.
Yeah, I got you. You said you watched all of that and then you see this and you like, dude, nothing has changed. It's the same thing because I've been watching 3 years essentially of bad basketball.
And I'm not asking to fix it. I'm just asking to give me one bright spot. One.
Like I'm saying, that would be like me, like I said, and I keep saying, like going back to last preseason game, it would be like me freaking out on last season when them dudes came out looking like the Houston Rockets and they came out shooting the ball. Like I didn't freak out then because they looked great. They looked great in preseason. They really did. And then they came out in the first game of the season and looked like they look like the rest of the season.
But you know it's different because of the history. You didn't freak out because you know who they were. We know who they are.
No, I didn't freak out because it's the preseason. Like it's just preseason. Like I can't bring myself to do that in football, in basketball, in whatever. If it's preseason, dog, I'm like, dude, it's preseason. I ain't really care unless it's like a rookie I see and a rookie comes out off the bench we've never seen before and he drops like 40. Then I'm like, oh snap! Like let's pay attention to that. You know what I mean? But the first one of the year and not like I can't, bro.
What
That's
gives
just
you
not
hope?
me. I can't do
I guess that'd be my question. Like, what have you seen?
It's not a hope. It's not a question of hope. It's just a question of where we are right now. And I'm in game 1 of a preseason game. Like that's not a question of hope. That's just like, oh, dude, this is the first game, and I'm just not going to trip on the first preseason. Okay, game. Like honestly, if it, and I agree with what Will said. If it looks like this for me, if it looks like this the next game and then the next game, all right. Then I'll be like, okay, well, this ain't looking right. But the first one, I just can't.
And here, this could be something right here. Quite honestly, they could have put too much on them in that 10-day period. And instead of being cohesive, they came out.
What do you mean by
that?
Too
too much in a short period of time. Meaning, okay, guys, we got to work on the offense. We got to work on the defense. And I know people are like, these guys are professionals. They should be able to adapt. But I remember when Pop took over with the Spurs, we had an offense in place, we had a defense in place, but we had a meeting, and the first thing he said was, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to strip the playbook down to 4 plays and 4 plays only. And once we master those 4 plays, we're going to have 5 plays. And once we have 5 plays, we're then going to have 6 plays. And then if we put in 6 plays and you screw it up, we're going to go back to 5 plays. We're going to simplify it as much as we can, but still be an NBA team.
Wow.
Right? So what I'm saying is maybe that, I'm not trying to be negative, degrading, but maybe they gave this team a little too much credit, tried to put too much on them too quickly, and I've realized, okay, now we got to go backwards a second. Because this is, if you want to, when I was talking about it a little bit in the third quarter before you came on, John, they were just like, come on, Will, it's only a preseason game. I'll tell you what I wrote down. I didn't have a lot of positive things to say, but I said, where's the rim protection? Where's the help defense?
Thank you.
Gafford needs to work on his offense in the post. Kobe needs to get more comfortable as a facilitator. He looks lost out there because he's in between. Do I pass? Do I shoot? Now, what did I see in the second half? It was almost like Kobe said, "To heck with this. I'm attacking the rim. I'm shooting." That was the natural Kobe. So, there we go. There's the glove. Are those new?
Oh yeah, baby.
Yes, they are new. Way to notice.
I think Nate Robinson's looking for an opponent.
Oh my God.
He
got knocked.
Will Perdue, ladies and gentlemen.
He got knocked out so fast. He would knock me out even faster.
Oh, and the thing was, you knocked out. He was out before he hit the canvas.
Oh my God!
But it's like points in the paint in the first quarter, 10-4. Points in the paint at halftime, 26-14. They had 6 turnovers. I mean, it was just. I wrote down not a lot went right in that first period. Zach picks up 3 fouls. There was not a lot of comfort. You know who actually, you know what I walked away with from this game? The most positive thing that I had from this game? I like Patrick Williams.
There it is.
I
That's
like him at the
exactly what we
4th
said.
pick. That was the most positive thing I walked away with tonight.
Dude had like 8 points and didn't tear his ACL, and we're
Yeah,
like,
we
he's the
agreed
best
on
thing
that.
to go with. Like, that's how low it is.
C-Dub says, I just wanted to see better. That's all I think John wanted.
I just want to see. Yeah, I just want to see okay. Like that's all. Like I'm not even at. Again, you shouldn't freak out about a preseason game, but because
So why are you?
Why. Because I'm not judging it as a preseason game.
He
because
obviously doesn't have much going on in his life right now.
Oh yeah, like we're all so busy.
Will with the straight.
Like our schedules are all. We couldn't possibly be doing this Zoom right now. Like. Because you were looking at as it just a preseason game, and I'm looking at as the aggregate of I've seen these people play basketball. All this potential is a myth I've created. It does not exist.
It's like, no, to me, though, John, what you're saying is you watched this game tonight. First preseason game of the new season. First time we've seen the Bulls in action in 9 months. And said, I want to see everything change in the first quarter.
And I think that's where I hope I've been explicit. I'm not asking for everything to be changed. I'm asking for one thing to be changed. I want to see I just want to see someone out there who can play basketball. That's it. I don't want to blame the coach. I don't blame the system. I just want to see something where I go, hey, that's kind of cool to watch. That's interesting. That's all I want. That's all I want.
But John, didn't you see that in Patrick Williams?
The bar for Patrick Williams is so low that if he doesn't trip and fall at this point, we're like, pretty good pick of the 4th. Rookie of the year. Like, what was his line? I mean, he was 4 for 5, right?
I'll get it for you. Patrick Williams was 12 points, 3 rebounds, shot 5 of 9 from the field. Was a +3, played 25 minutes.
Probably only plus 25 minutes. See, it was good, but he also didn't like dazzle us like John Morant's like he's not a franchise guy. That's clear yet.
Yeah, the second pick.
He was the 4th. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
Luka was the 3rd. Like,
so guys, Will, I want to get your thoughts. Here's some initial reaction from Donovan post game. He said, quote, "We didn't guard the ball well enough. We didn't help well enough." That's something you mentioned, Will. We didn't block out well enough. We have to build those habits. Will, are you concerned at all about this team's collective defensive effort? And some people were really up in arms among Bulls fans that they let Chris Dunn walk. They let Shaq Harrison walk, 2 of their better defensive players, while keeping Denzel Valentine. John's fucking rubbing his eyes right now because I know he thinks that's ridiculous. I also don't think it was a big deal letting Dunn or Shaq Harrison go. But clearly there were some defensive issues, especially around the perimeter tonight.
Absolutely.
What do you think about that?
We had the same conversation last year about when your initial line of defense, which is the guards, is porous. What did we always have? Wendell Carter Jr. in foul trouble because he was trying to make up for the lack of defense on the perimeter. All right. What did Zach LaVine talk about? I don't question Zach LaVine's work ethic. That dude works his ass off. But at the end of the day, he was out of position a lot. Okay. And he talked about, hey, I'm working on my defense. Working on your defense is hard in the offseason because there's not a lot of games. Even when you play pickup games, they're still not 100%. They're still half speed, 3/4 speed. You're just working on rhythm. There's things you're working on. All right. And you can't start working on your game until you get into practice and you're going full speed, and at least from a defensive standpoint, because it's just the speed is different. So it's going to take him a while to make that adjustment because we saw the same struggles tonight with Zach that we saw over the last 2 years. All right. So more work to be done there. So he, what do we got here? First of all, let me say thank you to Donovan for the $1.99 tip. I will donate my 50 cents to the other 3.
Thanks, Donovan, and thank
really
you,
need it.
sir.
Thank you. That's huge.
Peasants.
I'll buy medicine with it.
Hey, weed's legal, dude. Try it.
Oh my god!
Oh, I assure
I'm
you,
on a
has.
cleanse right now, guys, and it's a living hell.
So there we have it. Show's over, dude.
That's
No,
why
I'm
John's so
upset 'cause
upset
I'm
right now.
and you're right, and you're. It's not binary, and I'm allowed to feel things.
Hey.
like it's you're
Yes,
right
you
to
are.
freak
Basically,
out.
what you're saying is
You're saying there's one opinion to have after watching something. And
No,
I'm
no.
saying there's a
what
myriad.
you're saying is that you're on a cleanse right now. Your wife is outside the bathroom door yelling for a stool sample, and you're like, "My life is going to hell. Stop
Oh,
it!"
how dare you? No, my wife would never do that. I don't know how it is. I don't know how a marriage is in your house, man. I'll ask Connor. But it is not like that. And I'm not smoking weed right now. And it's a bummer, but I'm reading now or something. I'm just saying, like, it's. I
Are you reading
want to
Stephen
know.
King? Is that the problem?
I just finished Dune. It's fine. I just am like, I don't know who's good, and I've had an adequate sample size where I think now no one is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why this game was the one, but like, it was 3 minutes in and the game was over against a team that's against a team. John Wall was in DC 10 days ago. Like, this isn't a team that has like chemistry. So all the excuses we're using for the Bulls, you could apply doubly to the team we just played against who smoked us. The only difference is they shot. And maybe that's all basketball is. It's not habits. It's not defense. It's just who can shoot.
That's a very important part of the game these days, and we struggled in the first half.
So, Will, let me ask you. I mean, going into this second preseason game, what are we supposed to be looking for? Like, just everything?
Well, I think
now?
we have
like,
to step back and start breaking it down into sections. Because if we want to sit here and try to focus on everything, we're all going to be like John.
I am not communicating correctly. All I'm saying is I don't want everything to be changed. I want to see one good thing. That's it. One good thing. That's it.
I mean, it is because they play the Rockets again. Like this is a big team. They're going to play again.
And that's where I love where they're going to play the Rockets and they're going to play Oklahoma City. And I want to see how do they change from game 1 to game 2, and from game 2 to game 3, even though it's a different opponent. Hey guys, listen, John, you make a lot of good points.
Thank you.
Okay. But the problem is if you try to focus on too many things, you're going to drive yourself crazy, and that's what you're doing.
Yes. I don't think I am. I'm not saying they should come out being great. I'm just saying I need to see one thing. I'm asking for one thing. That's all I'm asking for.
Hey, I mean, listen, you've worked with me long enough. You know how I come out and I speak the truth, and I want to hold these guys accountable.
Yes.
And I want to do that now, but it's not a regular season game. And I know the preseason is more important for these guys than it is for other teams. You are exactly right. But it's one game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Matt, hold on. If I see the same thing on Sunday, then I'm concerned. Because now you've had the opportunity to make adjustments. Now, because the one thing we all know is film don't lie. I know many times in my career I tried to hide in the film room, but there's nowhere to go. and that
well
rewind
over
button
7
is a
feet
bitch.
tall.
Oh, don't hit that, please, please. Oh. So I think that at the end of the day, listen, we all know that opinions are like everybody has one and they all stink.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I kind of think that maybe they threw too much at him and they tried to do too much. And maybe, quite honestly, they expected too much out of him in a short period of time. So reel it back in and let's focus on one thing on Sunday. And if we want to focus on anything, to me, let's focus on the defense. And let's focus on if Gafford And Wendell Carter Jr.'s man pulls him out to the perimeter because what did you hear Stacey talking about? Houston's going really small. There was no rim protectors. Guys were just driving down the lane, and help was always late. Remember, I think they did a replay of Hutch. He was late and fouled the guy. All right? A lot of that comes from, and that doesn't even come from natural ability. That comes from being comfortable. That comes from repetition. And they look like, quite honestly, a team that has not played in 8 months. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 9 months. Houston was in the bubble. And John, you make a lot of valid points. I'm not going to sit here and say you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're putting a little, but I'm just you're putting a little too much stock in the first game.
Probably.
Thank you.
And the last 2 years.
I'm just saying, but like we saw different stuff tonight, John.
Did we? The outcome was 30 points. What was different that we saw? That was like
Wendell taking 5 threes for one. We saw a lot more minutes from a rookie we've never seen before. We saw less hero ball from Zach LaVine. We saw Kobe trying to do more as a distributor and playmaker in addition to being a microwave scorer. So to me, what I saw tonight, John, and why it bugs me a little bit that you're flipping out about this one particular game is that Billy Donovan threw a bunch of crazy stuff out there and said, let's try this, we're going to try this, because Donovan's task this season at large is try a bunch of stuff and see what works and see what doesn't. And he started that goal and that task tonight. And guess what? When you let a bunch of different stuff try to pool together when you're trying to build a horse, sometimes you end up with a camel. And tonight, that game, that was a camel because it was Donovan throwing a bunch of different stuff out there. And I'm not losing my mind and saying, I don't see anything change. It's the same crap we watched in that 22-43 team last season on one game when it's a new coach trying a bunch of different stuff, man.
I love that now I bug you if I'm flipping out and overreacting. This is like so sweet. Welcome to Earth, Peck.
You know what that means?
Welcome to my life.
That just means he loves you.
They haven't played since March.
That's true.
These guys, 2 of their best players haven't played in 3 years. These again, I hear you, but the arguments you're using for excuses, why can't we apply that to the team we just lost by 32? That's all I'm saying. Like
my ultimate
you aren't applying the same context.
My ultimate judge of this was a lot of the second half. I was not watching the game. I was watching Billy Donovan's reactions.
Yes.
And there really weren't a lot of them. So now if he would have been very demonstrative on the sidelines, then I would have been like, we got a serious problem here because he's already pissed. But he was not. Now, the one thing I was sitting over there at one point, I was like, how many damn coaches do they got? Because I was sitting there trying to count them all. How far back are the players? Because there's so many coaches sitting on that one and those first 2 rows there. But we know what Boylan would have been. He would have been all over the place. He would have been the 6th defender out there.
Will, truly, you talk. Will, the past 2 times you've talked me down from the ledge. Peck, you don't help with your personal attacks. But Will, Matt, you screaming "calm down" somehow isn't effective. But Will, I agree with you at that first point. Like they just need to make it simple. You have made me excited for Sunday's game. Like I'm excited now, and I was dreading it after this game. Like they tried it. They tried to make jambalaya. Let's just make a side. Like let's do it.
Well, here's also something Billy Donovan said after the game. He said this was really good for us because we got our blanks kicked in a lot of ways, which is good. But I think it also gives us a point of reference from a standpoint of things that we got to focus on and where we got to get better.
It exposed a lot of guys about where your weaknesses are. And some of these guys, when you don't have the ability to get out and play 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5. You can't work. You can do a lot of stuff individually, and you work with a trainer. But where's the repetition? Where's the John? You used the word chemistry. I didn't see any tonight.
I know.
Okay, so
agreed.
And this is the. Let's go back to when Arturas first got here. What did he say? This team has too much talent to only have 22 wins. This team is too talented to show what we saw tonight. But I will promise you this. If we get to 36 games, the halfway point, and this is still going on, we all know what's coming. Trade after trade after trade. Building up assets. And it's pretty simple. So what was the one thing we used to clamor about all the time last year? When we removed the coaching situation out of the equation, what was the thing that we constantly went back to, that we had conversations about in the green room? Leadership.
Well, they had a committee.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole committee in charge of that, but none of the captains. The captains weren't a part of the leadership committee. That's a different leadership thing. And I think that's why I'm freaking out, Will, is because we thought the talent was better, and I hope it is. That's all. Like, I just hope it is. I don't know what we can get. Like, I don't know what assets we have. Let's hope we have some.
Well, maybe we got a bunch of asses instead of assets. I don't know. But listen, at the end of the day, we have guys with individual talent. But we talked about this. What's that?
Who do you believe in the most right now? Like, if you were to be like, I'm going to buy stock in one of our players, who has it's, let's say even it's low, like not even like odds of the best odds, just like who has the highest, if everything hits, highest ceiling.
Now, I should answer that question by hesitating.
But you're thinking. That's a good sign.
Well, because
that only helps John's argument.
That's not
Will.
the
That's
point.
not
I mean,
I think we have the same answer, though. I would if I were to guess, I think we'd all have the same answer, and we.
No, I disagree, because I would buy stock in Kobe. I would buy stock in Zach. But the thing is, I would buy stock in each one of those guys for different reasons. But let me go back to the leadership thing. The players had their out last year. The out was the system. The out was the coach. The out was the culture. That's gone now. There is no out. Their only out is me, meaning the guy in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I've talked about when I've been doing these interviews leading up to this is this. I can promise you that I fully believe that Billy is a guy that can develop players. And I fully believe that Arturas and Mark Eversley feel like that they have put the best possible coach in with these guys to help them develop. And if they don't develop, it's not on the coaches, it's on them. And then these guys will be moved out. You made a point about Dunn. Listen, I think it was time for Dunn to go, and not because of his lack of talent or anything like that. He just didn't fit. And sometimes guys just don't fit in a team. Now, I was surprised because Shaq is cheap. And I thought Shaq played very well in the limited minutes that he got. And he was a guy, quite honestly, that to me could have made a difference tonight. Because the one thing I did see that from off the offensive thing was like, it's almost like Zach reverted. He didn't get a couple shots down the floor, so as soon as he touched it, he shot a three when he was like 12 feet behind the three-point line. I was like, no, we can't have that. That's got to go away. And the biggest thing, you guys we talked about this all the time in the green room. Man, I'm going to miss those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You got to sacrifice. Everybody has to sacrifice.
Yay.
It doesn't matter if you've gone down the floor and hasn't touched the ball 10 times, but if you look up and you're winning by 10, you have to be good with that. You have to accept that. And if you don't, then you don't belong. And that's the hard part.
Hey,
you know, and that's on good teams and bad teams.
John, let me ask you, man.
You know, and what I didn't see tonight was that, you know, guys, the chemistry, no chemistry, not a lot of leadership. Guys talking about Kobe said he wants to work on his leadership. He wants to be the leader on the floor. I saw him looking a little confused, driving down the lane, not being aggressive, trying to be a facilitator. You know, the windshield wipers are on. In the second half, he was like, screw that, taking it to the cup, finishing strong, you know. And so maybe we're like, hey, he's trying to be a point guard, but maybe he's not. Maybe he's just a guard who's a scoring guard, not a point guard. And if we want him to be a facilitator first, maybe that's not his role. You know, Zach's still trying. We're trying to determine what is Zach. We know Zach's a scorer, but what else is he? Wendell Carter's a defender that is laid a lot on the help because of the initial first line of defense. He's trying to prove he can shoot threes. I mean, he looked out of place.
We tried to make people do things they don't do today.
But again, also, I guarantee you, Billy Donovan told these guys, show me what you can do.
That's true.
Popovich did that to me when I got traded for Dennis. He sat me down and said, you have 4 weeks and 8 games. We talked about this, you know, in the third quarter. You got 4 weeks and 8 games to show me what you can do. And then we're going to make an evaluation, and then we're going to have a meeting, and we're going to tell you what you're allowed to do on this team. You know, just like when I was at Vanderbilt, the 3-point line came in when I was at Vanderbilt. So what did we do? For the first 20 practices, we shot 100 threes every day at the end of practice. And after those 20 days of 2,000 threes, anybody that shot 36% or more got the green light, regardless of who they were.
That's awesome.
I did not get the green light. But I literally was at like 33, 34%, but it was a brand new thing.
Wow.
But it wasn't like the coach sat there and went,
wow.
Okay, you can shoot them, but you can't. You can, but you can't. I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. 20 days during our preparation of our first game, 100 a day, 2,000. That's a pretty good body of work. And he stuck to that the whole season. Even guys that thought they could shoot it and struggled, and you looked and they're like, dude, he's shooting 12%. He still got the green light.
Chris Dunn.
Will,
hey,
dude, I'll pay money to see
like
Will Perdue
$125 an hour because you have talked me off the ledge. I have never felt more calm. Like I feel very like positive. Like you have a very
not a second career because he went from NBA player to NBA analyst to now third career like therapist because he talked off the ledge.
I'm like, I need to reconnect with my uncle.
Yeah, but
like, I feel very like.
Listen, it could just be temporary, but that's why I'm more anxious now to see Sunday's game than I was before the season started. Because if they would have won tonight, I probably wouldn't been as excited or anxious to see Sunday's game.
So as we wrap up here, gentlemen, Will, that begs the question. Do you want to come back and hang out with us again on Sunday night when the Bulls play the Rockets again?
Well, we're going to have to get a few more people to throw in a $1.99 tip, but yes.
I know these are tough times for everyone, Will, but you can always pawn one of those NBA championship rings you got lying around.
Never do that.
Hey, hold on one second. I got something for you. I got to run and grab it because I was going through some boxes.
What?
And I have something for you guys. I'm curious. I want to get you guys to give me a true value of this. Hold on a second.
God, we will. Oh, guys, this is the best.
All right. We turned it. What's that show where they bring in something to a guy and they tells him how much the worth of it is? What's the name of that show? Antique Roadshow. Yes, that's what's going on right now.
You had that right there.
He's gonna be bringing a Bulls championship ring to a Hot Mic Antique Roadshow.
Oh wow. Will Perdue showing us the Pawn Stars. Yes.
Yes.
Yep. I see it.
So this is what this is. 1988-89 Chicago Bulls playbook. The next step. So
So this is
content.
Doug Collins last season.
That is correct. A letter from Jerry Krause.
Yeah.
Rules and regulations, professional conduct, use of drugs, counseling, gambling, violence.
Well, it's gambling.
Pay disbursement, federal forms. I mean, this was everything. I mean,
Wow.
even to the here's one that I know you guys will love. Wives, girlfriends, or friends in general will not be allowed, which is highlighted, underlined, and all in caps, to travel with the team during the regular season. Exceptions to this rule will only be granted by permission of the head coach. This is everything. So these were the team goals in 1988-89. Win the Central Division, because the year before they came in second. Win at home. Last season, the season prior, they went 30-11. Win 50% or more on the road. The season before went 20-21, so that didn't happen. 50% field goal average. The season prior went 49%. 80% free throws. 88 season went 76. 46% field goal defense. 47%. Create more turnovers than we commit. So they had all these goals and practices and rules and regulations. Where's this? Here's one that just tell you how old this is. There will be no cassette tapes, radios, TVs, or other electronic components past the glass doors. Cassette tapes, baby.
Oh my goodness.
Walkmans all
Can you
day.
imagine if they still had that rule though? Now everyone's on their phone back. You know, like no one's. That's crazy.
Here you go. Here's our the fine structure, the 10 Commandments. You must carry this playbook with you at all time. If you don't, $100 fine. If you miss a flight, it's $250 plus you got to buy your own ticket. You miss a medical appointment, $250. Late for practice, $100. Now, here's one of the things that Phil did. Instead of players, if you're late for practice, meetings, buses, or mandatory functions, $100, right? So what Phil used to do when he became the head coach the next year, instead of paying the $100 to the team, you could pay $75 into the kitty, and then when there was enough money built up, we would have shooting games. And a lot of times there would be $400 or $500 in the kitty. He would walk out and line the money up at halftime, and then pick 4 captains and you pick teams. And then we played shooting games until a team won 3 games. And once the team won 3 games, they got all the money and got to split it. And hey, you'd be surprised how if there was $500-$600 in the kitty, and each guy there's 4 guys on a team, $150. How much these guys were getting pissed when they thought they got cheated on one of the because you would pick spots on the floor.
That's amazing.
Yes.
But hold on. Was Jerry Reinsdorf okay with this alternative fine kiddie pool as opposed to the money going back to the team?
It didn't go to the team. That was part of that was part of their charity structure. They still donated millions to charity.
Okay.
It didn't go back to the team per se.
Do you know
I got fined once, and I thought it was bogus, so I paid my $100 in pennies.
No, you didn't. Did
Yeah,
you really?
I did.
Wow.
Did you go to the bank?
Yes.
Wow.
You are the man.
Wow. Were they rolled up, or did you just give them a
pennies.
bag of pennies?
That is
I gotta say,
Man.
that is awesome.
are you familiar with that book Hang Time that Bob Green wrote about MJ?
Yeah.
From the early 90s team. You have several cameos in that book, but my favorite one is that on a road trip at some point in that 91 season, you and I can't remember who else, one of your teammates, came back to the hotel and complained about how you went to some like fancy sandwich shop in whatever town you were playing in and complained about how they were charging like $12 for a sandwich. And you were like, I'm not going to pay $12 for a sandwich. I'll just figure out something else to do for lunch.
It's about the principle, man. Come on.
I mean,
Do you guys?
It's finding pennies. Like, hey, I respect that. I do.
It's like right now, if you're driving down the street and the gas on the left side of the street is $2.25 a gallon, and the gas on the right is $2.75, you're gonna the hell with it. I'll pay more. Why not? You're gonna pull into the right and sit there and be like, yeah, look at me, I'm an idiot. I'm paying 50 cents more a gallon. Woohoo!
I mean, if I'm an NBA player making an NBA salary, yes, absolutely.
I'm an idiot.
Oh, man, Wilford.
Yeah, but okay, hey, that's fine. But let me ask you this question: when you finish playing as an NBA player, how old are you?
Somewhere between 24 and
30s, probably.
38.
38's on the high end. Okay, let's also remember.
What was your final year? The Jailblazers.
That would have been 2001. So that was 19 years ago, and I'm 55. So 36?
36?
Right.
Double nickel.
But you also got to remember, you're in the back of your head, you're thinking, I'm going to live another 60 years.
God willing.
You know, it's not like you're on easy street. Listen, we can talk about, because we need to call Kendall and get him going about what people are getting paid now compared to what they were getting paid.
Kendall hates it. It bugs him so much.
Kendall, that's why he does the 60-40, because he's trying to get back in the league.
That right there,
man.
hey,
Get a quick check.
that's his version of John's frustration. He takes it out on 60-40 every day.
Surely, I'm not frustrated anymore. You talked to me. They tried everything, and they're going to reassess.
But here's my last point.
Take a step.
And this isn't about that.
Start again Sunday.
I'm open. I'm transparent. My first contract in 1988 was 5 years, $2.5 million.
That's awesome.
Okay, but and I was the 11th pick. What's the 11th pick getting now? 5 years, 35?
Probably somewhere around 35 million. Yeah.
And it's different. And you think about, okay, people are like, oh, 2.5, that's really good. It is excellent. It is outstanding. But let's just start 2.5, right off the top, take off 50% for taxes. Because what they're also forgetting is I had to pay entertainment tax in Pennsylvania, California, Colorado. I mean, it was just we got taxed out the wazoo. Okay, because the city of Philadelphia tried to back tax us when they went broke.
Amazing.
They wanted to go back like 8 years and go back and charge that entertainment tax for
Philly
athletes
is always Philly.
And they said no, that's not happening.
Philly going Philly.
So you immediately lose half there, and then you got 4% to your agent, and then the list goes on. And I know people that are listening are like, boo hoo. But at the end of the day, I'm still only 36 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a long way to go. And now if I was, 30 million, start off at 15, save 10, spend 5, I'm golden.
Mm-hmm.
But I was basically, am I better off than most? Yeah, but I'm also smart. That's why, I'm not going to sit there and pay 50 cents more a gallon because I'm sitting there like, oh my God, I am an idiot for doing this. Because you know why I'm thinking that? Because I can then sit there and go, the money I'm wasting on this gas is a sandwich I could buy for John when he goes to Potbelly and gets me my salad.
Oh my God, that was so. And that again, Matt was being smart. He was like, "Free meal, I'm in."
But also, more times than not, he did not take advantage of it. I was like, "Dude, you buy yourself a sandwich?" No, I'm good. We talked about that earlier. I was just, okay, man. I don't like to, hey, can you do that for me without offering something? That's why I would show up with cookies. my wife's restaurant, have her bring food.
Oh, that was the last great meal I had, I think.
The pizza. Don't let your wife hear you say that.
Dude,
No.
those root beer cookies.
We split the cooking.
Good God.
Will, have you learned to put jardiniere on your pizza yet, by the way?
Oh, that's just like, no, not happening.
That's Vanderbilt. You're not going to put Jardine on the pizza. That's Vanderbilt, man. They're not going to do that. Guys, $100 in 1988 was worth $222.84. So that just kind of helps contextualize it. And the 11th pick now makes $3.3 million a year. Three years and then an option. Of team option.
Okay.
And I averaged 500,000 a year.
Yeah, you were $500,000 a year on your rookie contract.
As the dramaturg, I just wanted to throw
yes,
listeners.
Now I'm going out on the ledge. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm now excited. They got all it out of their system. It's one game. They lost by 30. They sucked. Hopefully they got all. I mean, they sucked. There's not much. There's not much Sunday, to be like that was great, but they got it. Hopefully they got it. Everyone was bad, which means that's rare.
So let me answer C-Dub. Yes, I have these talks with my son all the time. The one thing you'll learn when you have kids is you don't want them to make the same mistakes you have. Because you're like, I am a resource. Please use me. If you don't want to listen to me, that's okay, but use me as a resource. These are the mistakes I've made. This is embarrassing for me as your father to have this conversation. But don't make the same mistakes I made, please. Because that's just – but at the same time, you got to let them make some mistakes. But you just hope that you don't get that phone call, hey, Dad, guess where I am? Right. Oh, shit. Really?
Hunter.
Do you accept this like call from the correctional institute?
Hunter.
Suspect was 6'8", 240.
Here's the best part. I want to be a hard ass, and I've explained to him, because if that happens, I probably won't come get you till the next morning. Mm-hmm. That's the dad in me saying that, but I'm sure if I ever get that call, and I pray to God I don't, I'll probably march down there and be like, really?
You say that, but my pops sprung my brother same day when he got that call.
Your brother got arrested?
And my dad is totally the type of dude who would have let him rot in prison or the drunk tank at Ogilvy for a night. But he didn't. He went and got him. I'm sure you would too, Will.
Oh, I know I would, because you're his dad, and you're just like, golly, how do we get on the subject anyways?
Yeah.
What time's the game on Sunday? What's the game? The time's the game on Sunday? 7 o'clock.
Sunday again.
Will, what?
7 o'clock.
I'll meet back here.
Yeah,
Sunday night.
Just make sure.
Will, down?
Make sure John gets his honeydews a little done a little quicker, so he can join us in the third quarter.
I'll try my best.
Yes.
I think I'll be able to do it because my wife will be home all day. It's just that she got home late today.
I definitely saw 10 minutes or so ago John look off camera and clearly
you saw that too?
Yes, wife of mine. I'm almost done talking about sports.
She sleeps. This is the wall, so it's like me. Yes. I'm not very quiet. I don't know if you know. I use my instrument.
All right,
but Will, Matt, Dave, this is the best. Thank you for talking me off the ledge. I'm now excited. Thank you for dealing with that.
And John, thank you for letting me not be the most pessimistic piece of shit tonight.
I was.
It was a nice change of pace.
I was so cynical and bleak. It was. I haven't gotten there in a while, and I was like, we all suffer. Everything dies.
Like there's the dark cloud. Like, my God.
Oh my goodness! All right, well, let's wrap it up then. We'll let John go to bed. His wife's ready for bed. Will
ready for bed? She's gone.
For hanging out with us, man. Everybody, Will Perdue.
Thank you, Will.
On Sunday.
Gentlemen, I enjoyed it, man. Thank you so much for allowing me to enjoy the craziness. And
hey, man.
Listen, I always
like Outsiders on NBC, but anything goes.
I told you guys this, when I called each of you personally after you unfortunately received the news, I told all you the same thing. I mean, when you guys first were hired, I wasn't sure the direction they were going. And I went from, as soon as we were done, bolting out of there, meeting my wife, having a glass of wine and going to bed to eventually we were done bolting out of there, going home, having a glass of wine with my wife, but watching you guys on TV. So
That's high praise. Thank you. My God.
Wow.
You guys were very
Wow.
welcoming and very kind. You guys were
Wow.
too nice than you should have been to knuckleheads like us.
Thank
and
you.
I will. Oh, those conversations in the green room were truly. I always wish we could record those because those were so fun
Best.
and
Well,
so good.
and that's the other thing is I think that was
Yeah.
Kendall and I would talk about this sometimes on the way home. You guys would, because of how you guys looked at it, us being analysts, where we're also fans, but let's be honest here. The last 30 games that we watched, I think we didn't really watch much basketball. We had a tendency to talk more because we had the TV in front of us that had the Bulls game, and we would end up watching the TV on the left that had something else on it. Because it was just like
That's
the
true.
TV in front of us was a rewind. I think we've seen this movie,
Yep.
but
We tried to watch it and then we
you
go. Oh,
guys made it entertaining because you guys would just talk about the most random things that were quite honestly would distract us from what was going on. Otherwise, we all would have been on the ledge telling John to move over.
Come on, come on in. The water's fine.
All right,
We're
let's all
gonna
just
jump,
hold
yeah.
hands and jump. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
There was one night in particular, Will, where I think it was early on, but late enough to know that the season was going nowhere this past season, where you stood up out of your seat, getting ready to walk to the studio, and looked at us and was like, all right, well, time to put whipped cream on another turd and walk to the studio. And we all just kind of looked at each other like, yep, that's pretty much what this whole season is right now.
That looked aggressive.
About right. Yeah.
Hey. Shout out Hutch for being active tonight. Way to go.
Hutch was active.
Yeah.
God, Archie.
I mean, Archie diving on the floor.
Luke
man. Come
Cornett
on.
playing 22 minutes a night on the reg.
Great stuff.
On the reg. As status quo, hey Luke, 22 minutes. I got you.
Hey, hold on a minute. Let me. I apologize, John. Turn sideways. Let me see the profile. You got a haircut.
Got a haircut today. Today.
When we talked last week via Zoom, I was
Yes,
like,
you did.
dude, man, you got to do something with it because you had
And
said
you were
that you
right.
had not gotten it cut since March, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so how much hair was on the floor?
It was a ton, and I donated it to Locks of Hate. It's for other bitter Bulls fans who watched this game when we lost by 35.
Oh, hey, you know who could use some of that?
You?
Our ex-head coach. He's
my
bald.
That guy's bald, and it seems, but he's never been stressed a day in his life. I don't know where it came from. But truly, no, I didn't. And Will, it was a surprise for my wife. I didn't tell her, and it was as if I've set the bar so low that if I get a haircut, it's like a good thing.
Hey,
It's a December to remember.
as they say, under promise and over deliver.
Oh, my God.
So we do.
Oh, man.
The Bulls do the opposite, but hopefully
It
Sunday
is.
they don't.
Spoken from the backup center of the championship Chicago Bulls.
Your Chicago Bulls.
That's right, baby. All right, gentlemen.
4 times.
Thank you so much, guys. We could go
Thank
on
you.
for
We do.
hours. So look
Yeah,
forward
this
to
was a
doing
treat.
it on Sunday. Matt,
Sunday.
get
Sundays.
all the info. We'll keep going forward, man. And then we'll have a serious conversation on where we think this team is now after 2 games.
You know it, buddy. We'll be here.
I can't wait.
Hopefully, instead of a turd, we can go from shit to Shinola.
Hey, I like that.
Please.
There it is. Hey.
Thank you, Will. Goodbye, guys.
Oh, my goodness. Will Perdue.
All right, gentlemen.
Will
Good night.
Perdue.
Thank you
Right,
for everyone
John.
who watched. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody who watched us tonight, hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah.
We are just getting started. It is game 1 of the preseason. We've got 3 more preseason games. December 23rd is our first game officially of the season. And we will be here hanging out with y'all. We will be back on Sunday for their second of a 2-game homestand against the Rockets. hang out with us on Hot Mic. Also, as of tonight, we are also multi-streaming on the BAWL on Bowls YouTube channel. So you can find us on YouTube as well. And of course, we're also on Periscope and Twitter, as well as here on Hot Mic. Hang out with us. If you didn't try it tonight, but you're curious, there's that new feature. You can hang out with us, request to join the broadcast. We'll invite you in for a small donation that might go into our pockets because we're all poor. We're not working. It's COVID. And we get to hang out with you and hear your Bulls thoughts. Instead of just in the thread typing, you can actually show us your face and show all of our listeners your face as well. So for Big Dave Watson and John Sabine, my fellow ex-outsiders, Matt Peck saying, thank you so much for hanging out with us, everybody. We're back. The Bulls are back. And we will see you on Sunday night. Have a great weekend until then. Mwah! Peace out.
Bye.